Good morning, good evening, good day, for wherever you are joining us from. Welcome to episode 29 of the ADS podcast. We have Soul back this week, everybody. So, I'm so
What it do,
happy to see
people?
Soul back. And we have the lovely NextGenNero joining us as well, as per usual, and obviously me. But we're just going to find out what everyone's been up to, and then we'll get into some topics. Soul, it feels like it's been forever. How are you? What have you been up to? And glad that you are back.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever. I am happy to be back with both of you guys. I have missed everyone here and the chat. Chat, whoever's in there right now, thank you for rocking out with us.
Yeah.
Just been up to life and family. Had a lot of stuff going on here as of late, and just all good stuff for the most part. All good stuff for the most part. Family, families at times, and we have those peaks and valleys and all that good stuff, but everything is good as far as this household is concerned. And I'm just, happy to get back to talking about games and gaming. It's been a lot going on. I've been in touch with some of it and I've missed a little bit of it, but we're gonna gather it all up today, and I think we have a lot to talk about. I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a good week. It's been a good week. I feel you on the everything's just been crazy. I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
But I
Just
will say this though: the beard is still bearding, so I
yeah.
can't go wrong
Sir,
with that. Long as the beard is bearding, baby, we're all good. Everything's good in the hood.
And then we also have Nero. How are you? What have you been up to?
I
Yeah.
am good. I am really good, man. I've just been really enjoying gaming, guys. Despite all the negativity surrounding gaming, whether it's on PlayStation, whether it's on Xbox, whether it's from all these weirdos online trying to cancel games for including more people. Me personally, I've been having a blast. So I'm about 12 hours into Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Absolutely loving it. I tried to play Dragon Age Inquisition back in the day, but it just didn't click. I wasn't a fan of the combat, despite everybody telling me to just stick with it. I never stuck with it. So jumping into this, I have not been disappointed. Um, Funny thing is, everybody is saying this is something that tickles me, right? Everybody is saying that this game is forcing you to be transsexual or whatever, right? Because the options is there for inclusion. If you're not a trans person, you're not gonna see. I didn't make a trans character, so I'm not seeing those dialogues. If you're against that and you're seeing them dialogues, that means you made the very same thing you claim to be against to see
Mm,
those dialogue options in the first place.
that's
So when you
interesting.
see all these clowns on Twitter clicking through these options, remember you have to make that character. Just like
Is there a
I
non-binary character though, like NPC that you engage with at all?
I haven't ran into one yet, and even when I do run into them into games, I really don't notice it. Like I don't know if you know, but it's a non-binary person in Hogwarts,
Yeah, trans person in Hogwarts as well.
and I never knew until after the fact. So I've been enjoying that. Now
And
I
is a trans person in Hogsmeade.
yes,
Really?
and that was a good character too. Like I thought that character was very well done.
So what you're saying,
Gender.
Nero, is that you have to purposely go out of your way
Hmm.
to see or experience the dialogue. It's just not cut and dry within the game. You're going to come across it whenever. It's
Well,
just you have to have a certain.
to be fair, like I said, I'm only 12 hours in, and I did a
Okay.
handful of main missions, but as we was talking prior to the show, I love the game so far, and I've been
Okay.
clicking through side missions. Every time something side come up, I'm enjoying the game so much. I'm like, well, let me do this side thing because knowing me, I'll focus on the main story, and next thing I know, I'll be rolling credits, putting out a review on Game Pass Daily in my channel. So I've really been trying to enjoy and take it in, and I haven't noticed anything, man. When I play games, I don't look for things like that. I just look for fun, yo. And
Right. Right.
it's just sad that more people gets to be represented and people complain about that. In the fantasy games where you can be elves and everything else, Lord forbid you be what you might see yourself as in real life if you live that type of lifestyle. So for me, I ain't mean to go through that. We'll talk about it more when we get to that Metacritic. That's a topic as well. What quick news section. Also, I give PlayStation a lot of flack, but I will give PS Plus they flowers. Um, oh yeah, so when you was gone, I picked up a PS5. I don't. You probably
Uh,
missed
uh, okay, so yeah, you picked one
He
up.
trashed on. He just trashed Spider-Man
Hold on,
2 all last
all
show.
last show. All last show.
hold on.
Actually, I'm getting a PS5 Pro. My lady, my girl, early birthday gift. So I'm selling my Slim to my little brother, and I got the Pro on the way. So I'm gonna see what all the
Okay,
hype is about. But
okay, because word on these Twitter streets is that
mm,
you've been pony botting a lot here lately. I'm
well,
just I
word
don't
on the
know
word
what's
on the
going
word on the
on.
street is everybody who say that about me don't gain more than me. Like if it was somebody saying that who games more than me, I'd be like, ah man, that hurts. But when there's motherfuckers who only beat 5, 6 games the entire year, and that's not me judging. People got jobs, people got families. The predicament that I'm in, I'm able to game more than the average person.
Got you,
So I'm
got
not
you,
gonna
got you.
use that, as fuel against somebody else, like, ha, I gain more than you. But what made me have to take a step back is I realized whether it's the big ponies or big Xbox, these people is fucking idiots. Period. All of them. Xbox and they're idiots. They don't game. Sit around playing sell charts and game charts all day, rooting for the next game to fail. Whether it's we all came on this show as Xbox people and said, "Yo, Astrobot looks dope, and we hope it succeeds." We all
Mhm.
came on this show and said Concord looks ass, but we hope them people don't get fired and don't get shut down. That's the difference between us and other people. So, plus I own over 100 games on PlayStation. For people to think I'm just gonna abandon that digital library is bananas.
Yeah.
But back to the topic. PS Plus Essentials, they have Batman Arkham Origins in there, guys.
Okay,
If
okay,
you can hear the excitement in my voice, I've been looking for that game to play the 360 disc version of my Series X before the disc drive stopped working a year ago, 2 years ago. I looked everywhere. I checked every local GameStop in Buffalo, New York when I was living there.
right.
eBay, they taxing. eBay, I'm not paying $70, $80, so I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But I looked
You're getting
high and
ripped.
low for that game on disc. I could never find it. And I said, maybe one day. It just happened to be in PS Plus because it's delisted in the Xbox store and PlayStation store. So you can't buy it
Mm,
digitally. So you got to go find it physically, or you're not, just like the Transformer games. That's why I'm hoping Xbox bring those back.
okay,
But I've been playing PS Plus. Sony cloud gaming is better than what I thought it would be. Still miles behind Xbox personally. Um,
okay,
that's just me being honest. No console warring. I just think Xbox has a more smooth experience, and I think the games tend to look better. You can tell I'm playing the PS3 games. Like Xbox got improvements. Whether it's auto HDR, 1x 4K enhancements from last gen that carries over to this gen. So, but that's pretty much what I've been playing. I've been playing a little bit of Call of Duty.
okay.
I tried playing the 24-hour double XP Black Ops last night with Nuketown, but man, them sweats on there ran me off. Nah, I said, I had a rough day yesterday. My head was throbbing. I just wanted to come home and game. I get on the game. I get on Black Ops. I lied to you not. So about 2 minutes in, I said, "Yo, fuck this, yo." I said, "Yo, I said not
Whoa,
today. I said not tonight.
really?
Yes, not
It was
tonight." And
that
that and that
bad?
don't happen. That don't happen often. But
Wow.
you just got to get good, man. And that
Okay,
goes to show that even the goodest of good gamers have off days and off nights, and that's
okay,
okay,
okay.
people.
That's
It's
what's up.
okay to put
No
it down.
doubt.
I will say this though, like I said before the show, playing Black Ops kind of make me just want to play Halo.
Mm,
I don't know why. The last few days I've been really itching to play Halo. I have it installed. I keep refusing to open it because I'm waiting for the new update in
that's that
November.
third person
And
update coming, baby.
yes, that too, yo. I'm super excited. So hopefully on the show next week, the update will be here by then. I believe it's coming on the 7th. I might be wrong, but I believe it's coming next week. And I'm just super psyched for Halo, yo. But that's pretty
Yeah.
much all I've been playing, guys. Those 3 games: Veilguard, Batman Origins, and good old Black Ops, that first party banger. And
Mm.
yes, yes,
Mm,
yes.
mm.
All smiles around here. I love gaming, man. It's just in a good mood.
I virtually haven't played anything this week. I'm going to be honest. I've been a bit of I've been very busy. And so, but I did watch the last 2 episodes of Agatha All Along to finish out that TV series.
Don't you spoil
Not
it.
going to spoil anything other than
I gotta go back to
I
episode
loved the
one.
show.
I
The
heard it
show
was
was so
fire
good.
though.
And I'm really looking forward to I guess, the third part, which will be Vision Quest. So we get to hear about Vision's story after WandaVision. So you've got WandaVision, then you've got Agatha all along, and then you've got Vision Quest coming out next.
See, wait, Panda. See, you've already done a lot. You got me thinking.
I haven't spoiled anything because
connected.
this was already announced about Vision Quest.
Yeah, but I'm like, how are they doing this and what? Okay, let me just be quiet because I'm so excited.
But if you haven't watched Agatha All Along and you enjoyed WandaVision, I highly recommend watching Agatha All Along. There is, the only thing I will say is there is some comic book accuracy right at the very end, which if you are a fan of Agatha's character, Agatha Harkness, in the comic books, you'll be happy with what they do with her. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that's really all I've had time for, is just like to watch the odd show. I've also finished watching, I've been really busy, so I've been finished watching The Devil's Hour on Amazon Prime. So if you haven't watched The Devil's Hour, it's like a psychological type thriller thing. It's a very interesting premise. It's set in the UK, but it's a really good show. I highly recommend. Yeah, once you get through the first episode, which is like, what's going on? And then like halfway through the second episode, I was sold on it.
Y'all gotta forgive me. Like, it's embarrassing how far behind I am on Marvel. So I want to get into the newest Spider-Man movies, and Reese sent me a whole list. Shout out Reese. Shout out to everybody in here, by the way.
You are
appreciate and
behind,
love y'all. But I'm behind, yo. Reese sent me an entire list. I got to start back at Civil War and just. I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, you are behind if you have to go back to Civil War.
To get a refresher. You are way
man. And then, Dusty's still going to beat my ass because I have not watched X-Men 97 yet, which him and Retri both told me. I know. I'm sorry. Okay, well, if we judge
have you even watched Invincible? Have you watched Invincible?
Did either one of y'all watch The Penguin?
I'm like on episode 4 right now, and that shit is fire.
That shit is
fire.
But
but you see, the Penguin's really new.
You did.
Whereas everything else has been out for forever.
Yeah, hey, you know what, Panda? That's a good one. You got that one. But look, I'm gonna catch up, man. I'm gonna catch up.
This, Nero, the Marvel stuff. There's some hits and there's some. It ain't as bad as what people make it out to be. I think sometimes people get this of what it should be based on whatever, and you got to take things just like these games. You have to take them for what they are,
definitely,
and find some place to enjoy them. And I enjoyed a lot of things in a lot of these, shows that they have right now, man, or that have come out for life. Yeah, and so. I think you're gonna find a light that you're going to like, man.
Okay.
And I know I'm excited for this Daredevil that's coming up.
I'll say this: I did watch the Netflix Daredevil a while back. I don't know if that's the same one, just newer seasons.
Yeah, it's him. It's the guy playing.
Yeah, it's Char. It's they. I think they're bringing most everyone back. But let
he's
me tell you something.
Good. Like he was like the Daredevil. I was like, yes.
Did you all see that? Well. Did you all see that preview, that teaser trailer they did at the Disney joint?
Probably.
My God, this might be just as brutal, if not more brutal, than the Netflix series, and this is on Disney. It looks that good, man.
They have to though, like Punisher. If you're gonna bring Punisher back, like as well, like all those characters,
he can't be.
I love Punisher.
Yeah, you have to really, really up the stakes and like lean into what makes those characters and those stories so great.
Y'all didn't see the teaser trailer, did y'all?
Probably not.
Y'all didn't see it for Daredevil. Okay,
I did.
Just watch it in the background. Oh my God. Watch it in the background.
Let me say this too, because I never not like watch the Marvel movies because I don't like Marvel. But we got to be honest, yo. It would seem like it was a time where Marvel was dropping 3-4 movies a damn year. So even if you skip like a year or two, like I have with not watching Marvel movies, man, you're already behind.
Yep.
So for somebody that skipped the last 3-4 years, like myself, I'm super behind. But guess what? I just subscribed to Disney Plus.
Okay.
I plan to get my money's worth. I want to watch a bunch of Star Wars stuff. I want to watch a bunch of.
I wanted to unsub from Disney because I'm real pissed off with them.
Oh, what did they do? So
they have now done what Netflix did around like if like locking you down to like one household.
Oh yeah,
and then like And it's so frustrating. So frustrating. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
what if you want another profile thing? They're like, you have to pay for it. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
So they've done exactly
that's
what Netflix has
understandable.
done. I'm like, you haven't even been around the same length of time as Netflix. You could have done another year of people going, "Oh, this is a great service." I've already unsubbed from Netflix, so I am considering unsubbing from Disney
Yes,
Plus.
I
I
can't
yeah.
get
just it
away
just
from
pisses me
Netflix.
off that they're like nickel and dime because it's like
That sucks. I hate that.
there's no real subscription which is like pay the subscription, you get access to this streaming service, this streaming
Hmm.
service, and this streaming service. Like if there was, that'd be great. Like the ones that they do have are like dodgy AF, that you can do that with. So interesting.
Yeah.
Mm. All right,
So
we are.
David, real quick, he said, "Nero, I am an Xbox. I actually have a Game Pass. I buy games. I own a PS5. I barely turned on. Gets play, so don't crap on all Xbox games as I play nearly every day." Nah, I'm not. Did I crap on Xbox games? If I
No,
No,
did,
I don't think. No, I don't think you did.
I don't
if I
think you do.
offended anyone, I definitely apologize. No, I would never crap on. Look, I'm not the one to buy a PlayStation and just start shitting on Xbox. That's definitely not me. For anything, people should be grateful. I bought a PlayStation, and guess what? I reviewed Spider-Man 2, and I kept it a buck. The game that's a 90 Metacritic should be a 70, and I expressed that in my review. Go check out that review. But as a content creator that wants to grow, how can I grow as a reviewer and be taken serious if I ignore some of the biggest games that launched this year just because
There
they're
you
not
go.
on my preferred platform?
Yep.
Um, for people who don't take that serious, I understand. It's fine to pick one console and just say screw the other, but I'm sorry, I can't sit here and pretend like Stellar Blade didn't come out. And for anybody that wants to know, Silent Hill 2 is the reason I went out and brought a PS5. It was one of my most anticipated games. That and Wukong. But Wukong, I was fine with, like, you know what, forget it, I'll wait. But Silent Hill, I'm not waiting on that. So if people want to wait on games,
Hmm.
that's a-okay. Just like all the idiot PlayStation people. Oh, I'm fine with waiting on Starfield and waiting on Avowed and waiting on Indiana Jones. Look, that couldn't be. That's not ever gonna be me, bro. I'm not sitting around and waiting. If I really want to get a game and play a game, I'm gonna go get and play that game. Days Gone is the reason I bought a PS4 last generation,
Yeah.
and that's arguably people say that's one of Sony's worst games. But I love
Mm.
it. So gamers gonna game and grifters gonna grift, man.
Hey Nero, you know what I think when people are hollering from the mountaintops, from the rooftops about, well, I'll wait on this and I'll wait on that. I think it's more about their pocket than anything else, and it's okay. The thing is, it's
That's
okay.
perfect. Exactly.
It's okay if you can't afford to go out and buy a whole console to play these
Hmm.
games. But don't my thing is just don't shit on the other ones just because you can't get it right now. I
Yeah.
mean, not everyone is in a position to go out and buy a, four, five, six, $700 console and then games, controllers, and headsets and everything to boot.
Hmm.
Everybody can't do that
Mm.
at the drop of a hat. It's
I mean,
only
look
so
at
many
me. It
people
took
that
me
can go
three
out and do
years
that.
to get a
Right,
PS5.
right, right.
Three years in. I mean,
You want to mess with shit, but
definitely
um,
wasn't.
no, you really weren't, because I traded mine back in, so I can tell you what you were missing and what you weren't. But I'm kind of biased to certain kind of games, right? And I had all those games, and still I'm like, eh. But everyone doesn't have the same pocket, and timing
Hmm.
is everything. We have bills, and so you're in a position now where you can branch out, get your PS5, get into PS Plus, and enjoy what it has to offer for what it is. And I think what it is, folks, they holler about what they don't have. They wish they had it. I think that's
Mm.
clear. I think it's evident. But right now, I just don't think they're in a position to. Some people are in a position to go out and buy it because just like you, FOMO is a motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And FOMO is a motherfucker, and people want to get out
Me
and play these games.
Dragon Age Veilguard right now, like
So,
FOMO. But
Definitely.
I'm like,
yeah.
I can't touch it. I want to finish my current playthrough of Inquisition.
Mm.
But Inquisition is such a big game. Like I'm
And
over
it's so
100
weird, Panda, because I'm
hours
playing
in on like
backwards.
one playthrough. Really?
Which is yeah, I tried Inquisition so many
So did
times
you
last
play the
generation.
first one? You
No,
haven't played the first
Inquisition
one.
was the first Dragon Age game I ever touched.
Oh, well, understandable why it might have been an interesting experience to jump in there because of like all the iterative changes that they made. Like
Hmm.
number one, was a great game, and I would love to see it like redone and brought up to current standards.
Hmm.
Number two was also a really good game, but like the annoying thing was you would just sit in like one location.
Mm.
Um, and then number three, again, another iterative improvement with the combat. Like they kept improving on the combat every time, so I'm excited for Veilguard, but honestly, Inquisition has a little bit of bloat.
Yeah, and see, that is why, man. I tried before, but see, I didn't know that it was that bloaty. So I ran around doing a bunch of bloaty side stuff instead of the main stuff, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not digging
There's
this."
a yeah, like I'm mainlining at the moment because I'm like I'm over all the different locations I've been to because it's the same thing at every location. I'm like, oh, next.
Yep.
But I think it's time to get into some topics. So I'm just gonna
Yes,
move
yes,
us
yes.
over, share a screen, and you can kick off our first topic.
Alrighty. And while we transition to double down on what Soul and we all said, look, it is okay to play what you can afford. You know, that's all right, man. Just play what you like. You know, you don't have to see. For me, I'm not the type of guy to go out and spend thousands and thousands on a PC setup. Even though I know, for the PC people, they say you don't got to spend that much. But personally, before I go spend $1,000 on a PC setup, I would go spend 500 plus 500 and get both of the Xbox and PlayStation and be perfectly happy because I'm a console gamer. So you know,
Mm.
your own man. But yo, let's get into this first topic. A staggering 52% of the US Xbox Series X and S players launch Call of Duty Black Ops 6 the Monday after release. That is absolutely insane when it comes to engagement and attachment rate. Like that
Mm.
is really huge, guys. Over half of every Xbox that's in the United States of America open Black Ops. That is
Yeah.
huge, man. This game is historic. It is already breaking records. Um, people is gonna try to find any reason, but men lie, women lie, numbers.
Hmm. They
I
don't,
got no
baby.
critiques about the game. I think visually it's a step down from Modern Warfare 3. But I would take that when the movement and everything else is a step up. You know what I'm saying? So this is
It's a
historic.
fantastic game. I actually need to play some more.
Man, it's
Um,
so good.
yeah. Like,
And I jumped into zombies for the first time.
oh, you did?
Hmm.
What do you think of
How
it?
was
And
that?
yo, super fun, yo. They got a third person mode. So
Ooh.
all you gotta do is pause it real quick and click third person. The third person
Ooh.
shocked me. The third person is done so good. And I think so that's where it kicked in where I was like, yo, I can't wait to play Halo on third person. And I really
Gosh.
want Treyarch or any of them Activision
I was happy to
studios
hear
that
the third person mode in zombies. He's like, gonna
yeah,
have to
so
play that.
so in a good mood now, man.
I
But
was like,
Yeah, baby.
install.
it's a really good game, man. I'm only about 3 missions into the campaign because every time I
Okay.
open it, I jump right into the co-op, or if the homies is online,
This
I
is
play
what?
zombies
This is the most successful Call of Duty launch of all
ever.
time, right?
Ever. Yeah.
It's got the most amount of people who have like total like what most amount of players, most amount of hours played, most amount of matches played. They've seen a 159% spike in just Xbox players
Mm-hmm.
following Black Ops launch on Game Pass. So that's an insane amount of an additional Xbox gamers just going in to play this title. So yeah, I'm impressed. I'm not surprised. I think the Omni movement is fantastic. I know some people are a bit against it and they prefer the standard controls, but you can turn off Omni movement, right?
I believe so.
So you
Yeah,
could go
man,
back
people just
to
need
your
to get
standard
good, man.
standard.
I hate to say it. Like, get
I mean,
good.
they were probably really really good, and they were so used to the old way of moving that
Mm-hmm.
they're not used to this way. And so obviously change. Some people aren't that open to change.
So wait a minute, Panda. So what you're saying is that we have a new Black Ops
Mm.
launching into Game Pass, owned by a whole new publisher. Well, Microsoft. Times are changing, and it's kind of reflective of the games industry, of how things are changing with
Mm-hmm.
the ways you can get your games, play your games
Speak
anywhere.
on it.
And some people are resistant to change. Okay, that's something different. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about Call of Duty. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were
Hey, you was
talking about
cooking
the
though,
games.
man. Hey,
Oh,
you was
what?
No,
cooking,
no, no,
man.
no,
People need to
no,
get with
no.
the times.
Can I? Yeah, go.
I just want. No. Go ahead. I just wanted to put that out there. That it's very reflective, is what I'm saying. Things are
Yeah.
changing, and a lot of people are very resistant to
Resistant to
change.
change.
That's all. I'm just dropping that in there. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Do you know what I loved though? I loved the
Talk to him.
discourse around people sort of going, the sky is falling before this game released, going, it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
have as
Mm-hmm.
much attachment rate, less people are going to be interested in it because it's owned by Microsoft. It's not going to be making as much money because it's launching into Game Pass. And it's like, well, it doesn't matter if it's launching into Game Pass day one. There is PlayStation, there is PC, there is Game
Mm-hmm.
Pass for PC as well. There is the fact that if you just got it through Game Pass, you could have spent your money to buy the Vault Edition upgrade. And so
Mm-hmm.
that is still
Mm-hmm.
money in their pockets. And what was it? Over what, they've already made over $1 billion on this game?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
already
I
made
was
over
gonna
$1 billion.
quote I was gonna quote an amount from like 2 days ago, and I know it's way past that.
Yeah. What was your quote amount? How much was it?
Oh, I know they were already at 400 million within a couple of days.
Yes. Yeah.
So
I'm
they
pretty sure they're
probably
over $1
have
billion now.
hit that. Hey, before you go any further, guess what? It still has to release on Nintendo.
Yes.
I forgot all about that. So
Has this gone on to
that is so
GeForce
funny.
Now yet? Has this
I wouldn't know. I
anyone
don't
in the
follow
chat know if it's gone
GeForce
on to
too much.
GeForce Now?
But I
I have
want
no
to see
clue.
those Nintendo numbers when they come out.
Yeah, I
That's
forgot
what I
all
want to
about
see.
that. Do they got a time frame on it? It's weird they didn't launch it all at
I'm
No,
once.
I
assuming
don't
that's
think
probably
so.
going to be a Switch 2 game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
probably
could see
next year.
I could see that being a launch
I
title.
reckon for Nintendo they're not going to announce the Switch to the beginning of next year because they don't want to take away from sales for Christmas. And so they will announce the Switch 2 beginning of next year, and then it should be out holiday of next year, and that's probably when you're likely to see a Call of Duty Black Ops 6 version.
Mm.
But like, wouldn't they be releasing the next COD after that? Or are they doing a 2-year cycle? Who knows? We don't know.
I would love for them. I'm gonna be honest. If you keep putting out CODs on this standard, whether it's from Treyarch or other people, dude, we don't need a COD every year, bro. Black Ops
Every
is good
2
enough.
years.
Bring some maps. I think we good until 2026, 2027 before a new Call of Duty is
2026.
needed. I think I'm gonna be honest. I would kind of be a little let down if Microsoft do put out another COD next year. I mean, if they do, it's beyond them. Obviously, this been in
It
the
was
works
if they do,
before.
it was already planned. I'm
It was
sure.
already
Yeah.
planned for sure. But
I reckon if they left it in the oven to let it cook a little bit longer, then whichever version you get in 2 years' time has had an extra year in the oven to cook. And so you'll get a better product at the end of the day.
Yep. Because I mean, when your cause is this good, man, not everybody. It's people who didn't stop playing the prior Black Ops and skipped over the last few Modern Warfares just because they're strictly Black Ops players and stuff like that. Not every COD fan is a fan of all COD. Some people are strict. You see it right now. The division with some of the people saying they don't like Omni movement. You know, they like the more realistic feel of Modern Warfare, and that's a-okay. Guess what? We have options. So, you know, I'm pretty sure don't know the numbers, but I'm pretty sure Modern Warfare 3 even still got a pretty decent player base right now. And that
The only setting I want them to change or add, I want them to add a setting for the lobby music.
yes.
So
Oh my! Thank you,
mute
Panda.
the lobby
Thank you,
music.
Panda. Oh my God! Thank you.
It's the only thing they need to fix to make the game just that little bit.
Rain in a fire. Like
I
I'm
don't.
so sick of hearing that shit, yo.
I won't do
oh my
multiplayer
soul.
for the most part. I won't do multiplayer at all. So it's horrible.
Then
Right?
you're fine. You're not listening to that goddamn
Man, you were
lobby
so lucky,
music.
bro. That lobby music meant rain in a fire. It's the same
It was fine
song.
to begin with,
Yes.
but like now I'm
Okay.
at the point where I'm like, can we just fucking mute it?
So
And the fact that we can't turn it down is diabolical,
There's
yo.
no
Like,
setting
that
to
is so
turn it down. You have to turn down the main game volume, and I'm like,
oh wow.
Yo, Reese is sick, yo.
Why?
Reese is sick, yo.
I
Reese
love
did
that
not
song.
love that
Yeah,
song.
I like the song the first 10 times I've heard it. I've heard it now like 30, 40 times, and I'm like, I'm over it.
Gotcha.
I'm fucking over it.
Reese, you're a funny guy, dude.
Yeah.
Really funny guy. And Reese know because I be singing. Yo, me and my homie Rizzy, we be singing it in each other ears, and like we just sit in there. If it's taking long to get in the game, all you hear is "Rain in a fire, rain in a fire," like nonstop, yo. I put the mic real close to my ear and just troll a little bit, man. But that song should be platinum by now. As many plays as it's getting with all the sales and how many people is in multiplayer listening to that shit. It should be a 5-time platinum a Grammy nominated song by now. So we shall see.
Most times listen, like that should be one of the stats of how many times people have listened to that song in the lobby.
Man. Them numbers will be through the roof. So Panda, for the following points, did you have anything to pull up for the following points, or would you like me to just go over them?
I do. I can just switch over to them.
Okay.
So I think
if you thought that was all the success, we got more coming for you, baby. Activision says Call of Duty Black Ops 6 sets a new day one and open weekend record, making this the biggest Call of Duty 3-day opening weekend ever. It also had the highest total PC players during the opening weekend in franchise history. Now, like my brother Soul was saying earlier, it's almost like Game Pass don't cannibalize sales. It's almost like if you put out a good game, your game will sell no matter where the hell it's available at. It's almost like Starfield broke a lot of Bethesda records, even though that was in Game Pass.
You don't say.
Huh. Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
Maybe the $1 trillion company is onto something. Who knows? Like, who
knows?
Who are we? You know? And then the final thing is, which we, this kind of plays off what we said earlier, but Call of Duty Xbox player count jumped a whopping 59% following the launch. And I believe on PlayStation, it was something around something. It was something that they went up to, trust. Just so basically, guys, the takeaway from this opening quick news is Black Ops 6 is a historic game. Don't listen to these idiots about Game Pass cannibalizing sales. I hope this is a wake-up call to the industry. Maybe it won't be, because at the end of the day, this is Call of Duty, and I think Call of Duty is going to Call of Duty every year, no matter where it's at.
You've got to remember when you think about it, like the fact that that's what we're zooming in. Okay. Is everyone who doesn't usually pick up this game day one or ever, who's on Xbox, who subscribes to Game Pass, now can pick it up if they want and try it, and that's a new potential, I guess, revenue avenue for you, or a customer you've never had access to before, because they've gained access to this game through Game Pass. And so the fact that they haven't had to spend $70 on this game on Xbox, it's included in their subscription service, means they're more likely to buy microtransactions as a result. And so as a business, at the end of the day, those are the type of people that they want to be getting on board. Because you're right there, Soul. Once you kind of move that needle and you're like, buy that microtransaction, you're more likely to keep kind of buying more microtransactions. And so they've got new customers that they've never had access to before through Game Pass as a result, and we can see the engagement there. And for those who are naysayers and saying like the sales aren't going to be as good, they're not going to make as much money, they're not doing this, and even I guess to some degree Bobby Kotick, when he was the head of Activision Blizzard King, and the fact that they weren't wanting to put it on Game Pass, this might go to show that it should have always had an option to be on Game Pass, and that they were wrong around it, because I don't see it cannibalizing. I see people who are joining into this game for the first time and then finding a love for it, minus all the sweats, because there are a lot of fucking sweats in this game.
Definitely.
Definitely
a lot of cheaters as well.
Are probably going to just have a whole heap of fun and then jump in and try the campaign and try zombies and just experience that. Game
Man,
Pass, yes, I agree. Sanchez, Game Pass is
yes.
pro-consumer. There's lots to play either on console, PC, mobile, or cloud. Steam Deck, Rogue, Ally, Fire Stick, Meta. You choose where you want to play.
Hmm.
Yes. As long as you're playing within their ecosystem, they don't fucking care what you play on. Yeah.
Definitely, man. It's fantastic. It's good for the Xbox ecosystem. I hope it continues to grow. I will say if we see another Game Pass price increase before within the next 2 years, I will come on here and I will have a rant. I'm letting everybody know now. So don't say it's gloom and doom. Don't say narrow pony. No, I don't want to see another Game Pass price increase for a while. I understand it's a business. I understand it may happen, but I feel like $19 right at 20 after taxes where I'm at. Let's just leave it there. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there for a little
Nero, let
I
me
bit.
feel
play
you.
that. Let me play devil's advocate a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what if, and see, this may apply to you and this may not, because it doesn't necessarily apply to me. What if all of a sudden they come with another major acquisition, Take Two,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just throwing it out there because it's not like it's not possible. Okay, or Ubisoft is having a lot of trouble. They I don't know how they can get them, but they get them, or maybe a lot of the IPs or something.
I don't think they can get Ubisoft.
Is that because of the that's
Cloud
because
deal and
of the
CMA
deal?
stuff.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
think so.
maybe right, but they could IPs though, right? They don't, maybe not the whole company, but maybe some of the IPs. So let's just say they
Yeah.
spend some money and they spend a lot of it on an acquisition IPs. Who knows, right?
Mm.
And this is where I was really going. They introduced that family plan that they have been
Mm.
talking about. Now, do you say, 25? Are you
I
still
think
coming on and you're like, yeah,
I
this is
think
some
family plan
bullshit?
would be more expensive than that.
You think?
Yeah. I think it'd probably
I,
be about 30 because it's about
yeah.
5 profiles that get access to cloud. They basically get all ultimate. You all have to be in the same country. That was how it used to be. So I don't know if they change it up, but it was 5 profiles, all in the same country. Everyone gets access to Ultimate, so you can all get access to cloud, everything in Game Pass, day one. Yeah,
You know what? I tell you what. I wouldn't mind a price increase if you give me the option to pay Game Pass for a year and the yearly equals equivalent to what I'm paying now or potentially less, like PlayStation do with their PS Plus. Um, Guys, first of all, nobody is forcing anybody but buy or support Game Pass. If the price go up to 25, 22, 23, I'm gonna be honest. It would, between all the games that I buy and all of the games that I own and a backlog across both platforms, I have no problem with
mm,
taking Game Pass to a month by month situation. You know, and
yeah.
if this month, if there's some things in there I want to play or need to, okay, I would totally get it. And then next month, if I'm stacked up on games or if a new release come out, because let's be honest, GTA 6 coming out next year.
Yeah.
If GTA 6 drop and Game Pass go up to $25 a month, guess what Game Pass is gonna do? It's gonna sit on the back burner and it's gonna pause. The value is always there. The value
Do you
is
know what
never
I
not
want to
there.
see next year when GTA comes out?
What's up, Mr. Kimmer, by the way?
It not be marketed with PlayStation. It just be marketed in general. It'd be so fucking good.
I
You
mean
know
that
what?
that would be good, man.
No,
I feel
no,
like I'm sorry, so go ahead, brother.
no, I'm sorry because I was interrupting as well, and I'm so sorry about that. Go ahead. No, finish your thought.
Real quick, I was gonna say I really I understand why Microsoft don't do it as much, but please don't drop the ball with the marketing like Panda said, because I had just woken up from my coma, right? And I couldn't move my legs, my arms, and nothing. And I was just watching TV. Every single commercial break, a Hogwarts Legacy
Mm.
commercial would come on. Every commercial, PlayStation, play on. Like you would have thought, if I ain't know no better, if I was the average person, I would have thought that Hogwarts was only on PlayStation. So marketing is really important. And if you got a bunch of GTA 6 trailers all over the place and commercials and just
You
PlayStation
want them
logo
to
at the
be.
end, it's like, come on, man. But then again, that game is so big, I don't see why 2K would need money from either one of these companies The game
it would be
markets
But
itself.
they
greed
will want
if they
money.
did it.
That's the whole
It's just
point.
greed. But if they're
Yeah,
gonna
definitely.
give it to them, then
I would
I
just
would have
edge
a
out PlayStation. Sorry,
yeah
PlayStation, but you've had it for so long.
yeah.
And
I
I
mean,
know
Take it.
Xbox does this, right? But I would really like them to double down on marketing their home turf. When I went to that, like when I watched wrestling, right, and this and wherever it's at in the States, I think it should be some Xbox Game Pass marketing through there. Even if you
Mm.
got to give away a code or two throughout the show, like I know they do for certain sports, but you should be doubling down on the NFL. You should be doubling down on the
mhm.
like. You should be like doubling down at home. You're
Yeah,
not gonna outdo PlayStation, and you damn sure probably not even gonna outdo them at home. Like as you know, sales. I mean, men lie, women lie numbers don't. They're not gonna outdo them nowhere in no market.
right.
But if you have a chance to outdo them or at least catch up to them in any market, it's gonna be your home base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So everywhere, anything any major event going on in America, it should be some Xbox shit being promoted in there. You got the cheapest entry to next gen. You got the most bang for your buck subscription. You have a great roadmap of games. It's time for you to fucking start promoting this shit, bro. Not every game is gonna be Black Ops. Black Ops 6. I mean, the promotion started heating up towards the end, but it's COD. It promotes itself
And it sells
Yeah.
itself.
and it sells itself.
Truth be
But not
told, it
every
was
game is gonna do that.
yeah, yeah, and you're not gonna do that for every game as well. So
Mm-hmm.
only certain games are gonna get that treatment. GTA is gonna get that treatment. COD's gonna get that treatment. They should be giving Halo Gears. Now I'm not gonna say
Fable,
Forza, but
about
Fable. I think they should give Fable that treatment. When you think about what they have coming out, if they really want to push Avowed and they think they have something special, they need to give it maybe not the COD treatment because that marketing campaign was bananas. And truth be told, I really think that was more of an Activision thing than it was a
mm-hmm.
Microsoft thing. I think Microsoft, it just fell into their hands.
I
To be
love the
perfectly honest.
replacer again.
Oh,
Like
I
I always
loved him.
forget about the replacer. Like
Yeah,
whenever those ads come out.
he was great. They had him everywhere. The dude
Did you
was
see the
on
replacer
Club
for the
Shay
replacer?
Shay. I didn't see the replacer for the replacer.
Basically, I don't know if it was replacing the replacer, but there was a Aussie version of the COD ad, and it was I'll have to share it in the chat. It was really, really funny, and so it was just an Aussie woman who was being the replacer.
Wow.
It's just real fucking blunt.
Wow.
I'll put it in our chat so you can see the marketing. I just
Okay.
laughed.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, sorry, I cut you off. Continue.
Nero. Because I forgot what I was going to say earlier.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I zoned out too. But
I'll quickly move us back to
yes.
the other one. Did we want to just jump into, I guess, Dragon Age Veilguard review? So
Yes,
it's got a Metacritic score of 83 with 23 review or 27
I'm gonna go
reviews.
double
Sorry,
check that,
and
'cause
OpenCritic
Mhm.
84 with 37 reviews, and so, yeah, I'm so sad I haven't played this game yet, but I'm waiting.
It's at an 84 right now. On PlayStation, it's 84, and on Xbox, it's a 93. Granted, it's less critics on Xbox for whatever reason, always. But I believe I'm the only one on the panel that played this, right?
Yeah, and like I said, man, I'm going to be downloading that one as soon as we get off here. And
Yes,
if my
sir.
screen happens to go black and I go to the restroom, maybe that's what I'm doing. I'm downloading. Who knows?
Hey, the
Get
way I've been
started.
enjoying the game, I would not blame you one bit. Look, if I could be playing in the background right now, I would, but I got subtitles cut off and I need to know what's going on. But
Gotcha.
I've been absolutely loving it, man. And to be honest, Panda, you know how much I love Dragon's Dogma. This is giving Dragon's Dogma a run for my favorite RPG this year. Shattered
That's a
Spaces.
great sign.
Yes, that's it, yo. Shattered Spaces. I thought I was hoping it would be in there, but I got to move that. I was let down. Talked about it at length before. Not going to keep doubling back. This game is really good. I'm playing the Rogue Archer. I made a beautiful. I should have sent you some of the tweets so we could have showed how my Rook looked, but she is beautiful. The character creation is dope. I love the hair physics, which is awesome. Some of the best hair physics in the game. Please, all that go quote unquote go woke go broke. It's bullshit. It's the best performing Bioware game ever on Steam right now. Had a high of 70,000 concurrent players, which is great for a single player game. Man, I've
To
absolutely
everyone,
been loving it.
to everyone complaining, right? Dragon Age has a massive following.
Mm.
And there are people
Yeah.
who are going to ignore what everyone is saying because they want to make their own opinion about the game once they play it.
hmm And I
And I
think
think that's
what you
really
will
important.
see is, and I'm gonna put it. So I like Jazz Gordon. I follow him because he's a really good guy for what he do, especially with Windows Central. I'm a fan. We had some back and forths on the timeline before, but look, when you're a bigger person, I look up to you. When brushing shoulders with people I want to brush, like
Have you come across any dragons yet?
I have not yet.
Well, there you
I
go.
plan to. But I think a lot of people who was off on this game to begin with, and the only reason I brought up Jazz because he's a great example, and I want to tip my hat to this guy because at first he was kind of harsh on Dragon Age to Velgar. I seen his tweets and he was kind of like, "Ah man, I'm not really feeling it." He was like,
Yeah.
"Man, it's kind of let down." His last few tweets today has completely turned around. He's been walking it back. He's saying the combat is better. He put it on hard. What's up, Umber? What up, Sanchez? What up, everybody? Umber, I just seen Umber tweet earlier. He's enjoying the game as well, man. Another real gamer enjoying a real good game. So
What's up,
I think
Umbra?
I think this
Good to see
game will
you.
grow on people as they continue deeper into the story. But for me, it fucking grew on me off rip immediately, yo. Like I'm really loving the companions. Nave, she's Bae. All of them is really dope, man. And I want to continue to. I only got 4 of them, and still some more companions I gotta find and quests I gotta do and shit like that. But guys, I'm really enjoying the game, man.
Remember, Inquisition got quite a bit of hate when it first came out, but by the end of it, a lot of people do have love for Inquisition, and so I feel like a lot of the people who are complaining are complaining for the sake of complaining and just need to allow other people to make their own opinions about the game themselves. This whole woke, this whole DEI stuff, I'm like, well, obviously we're living in a time where everything's changing and people are wanting to go back to the way it was, and it's like sometimes the way it wasn't that great in the first place. It's revisionist history, the way you remember it, or nostalgia, the way you remember things. And so I do, like, I'm not 100% on the art style with Veilguard, but again, I think that'll just be because I'm so used to the other games.
I will say this,
And
man.
then
I
once you
think when
sit
you
down
got it
and
in
get
front of
into
you,
it, you'll get used to it, and you'll actually really love the art style, and that's what I think I'm going to expect.
yeah, I think that's
It
what's gonna
grows on
happen with
you.
you. Because okay, looking online, I was turned off from the art style too. But having it in front of me, Panda, I'm like, yo, this is a graphically really fucking beautiful game.
Yeah.
And in the back of my mind, I knew my lady was gonna get the PS5 Pro for me. So I bought it on PlayStation because I want to see what the PS5 Pro is gonna improve. I had it long enough to see the little FSR artifacting and little stuff like that. I game on a monitor, so I get to see this type of stuff up close. Maybe the average person on the couch might not see. So it is room for improvement, but I absolutely love the game, man. And if having I don't even people been calling it Pixar, been calling it Disney, been calling it cartoony. I wouldn't put it in all those categories, man. I would just say it has a unique art style, the
I
same
think
way Redfall had a different unique art style. It's just like
I
it's
think like
different.
with a game, it's around about gameplay. Yes, aesthetics do make your experience nicer, but like once you find that you enjoy the game, you actually just learn to love it. You end up loving how the aesthetics look anyway because it plays into the whole experience you're getting from it. So I think
Definitely.
people are very quick to be critical and not open to trying something new because there's so many people who are like, we're just
And
talking
that's how
about a
you
lot of the
miss out on
comments
great
about it
games.
and the reviews about it, and they hadn't
Yeah.
touched it themselves. And um and now who have had a chance to play it have changed their opinion somewhat. Some people will never change their opinion because they just want engagement farming and clickbait stuff. But if you're a real gamer, make your own damn decision about whether or not the game's good. Play it and find out. That's how it works.
Please, man, because if you're not playing this game because you feel like it's some agenda is being hidden or you feel like it's whatever, It's coming to Game Pass, and that's the reason I didn't buy it on Xbox. It's coming. All EA games come to Game Pass. All EA games come. So
I forgot.
yeah, it's gonna come. And granted, you do get a discount. All my Green brothers, you get a discount. You don't got to pay the full 70. It's 61 with the EA if you got Game Pass Ultimate, and then after taxes it's about 68. So you're making out saving about $5-10 compared to other platforms. But I really like it. I think this art style really highlights the fantasy aspect of the world. Whether I'm in a city or I'm in the forest, like this game just looks so good. And I think
High
one of the
fantasy
best things.
route, yeah.
I think one of the best things, guys, and I can't wait for y'all to play so we can, talk about this down the road. I think the best thing this game has going for it is its linear design.
Mm.
It feels open, but it's not open. And I love that. I'm so tired of just openness for the sake of openness and padding and bloat. You even mentioned it with Inquisition. As good as that game was and we received, it has a lot of bloat. I feel like this game does not have that. I've purposely been doing every side or companion mission, and they all feel like main missions. I have to remind myself, like, this is not a main mission.
Yeah.
So it's really good, man. The Metacritic, well deserved. This game will not be getting any DLC, so it's probably going to be another 10-year wait for all the Dragon Age fanatics out there. I'm considering myself a fan, not a fanatic. This is my first entry. I'm a humble newbie, and they said they are all.
Play your story, because it's quite interesting when you play from Dragon Age Origins to the choices you make there that impact what happens in number 2, to like the character I created in number 2 showing up in number 3. I wasn't playing that character, but they did show up. And then like some of the choices you make there and like the impact that has, because that's what Bioware is known for, right? Like if you play the Mass Effect series,
Mass Effect, yep, my favorite
me,
trilogy.
it's one of my favorite
And
trilogies.
speaking of Mass Effect, Panda, after this, they are all as right now, they are all focused on Mass Effect. I'm super excited for that.
They have to get that right. They have
to.
to get that right. After,
But I got faith in them
Andromeda
because I
was a
think they
good
got
game.
this
It
right.
just didn't need the Mass Effect title attached to it. I think from just what I've listened to of people I value their opinion of which Nero isn't one of them. No, I'm kidding.
Definitely not. Do not value my opinion. Hey, I changed like the weather.
I've been listening to it, and everything I've heard, it's just been like, yes, this sounds like more Dragon Age, and I love my RPGs. Like, honestly, I did a year of Xbox a few years ago, and my top 5 games were all RPGs. So I'm excited. Red Wolf, welcome. Hello. Thank you for joining. Veilguard is great. Yes.
What a remake Station 5.
Nero agrees with you. Yeah, remake Station 5
is hilarious.
It's true, though. You're actually not even getting the pro version of the console. You're just getting a remastered version of the PS5. Nero, by the way.
Look, anybody that own a PS5 and capping that they don't need a pro, they capping, man. This console's definitely needed.
Well, they asked for a pro from day one. I still think like they should have focused on just the PS6. Life is strange.
It's gonna be 10 years since you get a new console.
Yeah.
Hey, hot take. I'm sorry, hot take.
Yeah, no, go.
I want this console generation to last 10 years. I don't want that. We 3 years in. This time next year will be 4. I don't want this console generation to be over in 6-7 years. I really don't, because the amount of games we got within 6-7 years on I feel like this, for one, COVID really set this generation behind a little bit. We're not gonna act like we just now started getting a consistent flow of games all around the industry. I mean, 2021 and 2022 was literally the years of delays.
True.
So it's like a lot of stuff got delayed to just now coming out. And I'm sorry, I don't agree with Sony on a lot, but I agree. I'm happy. Hey, put that pro out, extend this console generation, because a new console right now if a new Series Xbox was to come out next year, which we know it's not, 2026 at the earliest, right? But let's just say one came out next year, even 2026. I'm not for my Series X. Like, the Series X is my baby. I feel like I barely really pushed it anywhere to the limits. You know what I'm saying?
We know that, like, and thank you, Demoflow, Gaming.
Demo, my brother. What's good, man?
We know that
what's good.
What's going to happen is the reason why they're not doing, like, the next console from Xbox is going to be, there's going to be a new controller, hopefully a new Elite Series controller, Series 3, and and most likely the low end system is going to be a handheld. And so I think a lot of what Xbox is wanting to do and switch up that they could improve this generation, they're just going to push to next gen so that it's starting fresh and delivering on what they realize everyone is after. Yeah. Demoflow Gaming, thank you for the $5. Glad you guys back on fire. Hit that like button, y'all. I tried.
Hey, can I jump in real quick to
Yes.
piggyback a little bit where Nero was going with Dragon Age? Um, Gordon. Ha, that's the other guy on TV. Um, Further I get into Dragon Age Veilguard, the more my inner Dragon Age fan gets satisfied. There are some huge twist
Yep.
implications in the later game that hit really hard, all the way back to Origins. Now, I
I
don't
feel
see
like
all the
that
other
tweet was
tweets
specifically
here,
for Panda.
but now here is Colt because it seemed like he kind of felt a certain way, and then you could see his review was kind of like, nah, this shit is actually really, really good. The combat skill tree is glorious. I'm an evoker battle mage, but if I was a diehard Dragon Age fan, I'd be underwhelmed. So I don't know where he's going with that, but he does like the skill tree or whatnot. So it
Wait,
seems
did he
like
say if
Jez.
he was a Dragon Age fan, you'd be disappointed? So he's not a fan of Dragon Age?
Yeah, that's what I'm
So
trying to
maybe he's
say. So
not. I don't know.
disappointed. I'm
I don't
confused.
know. Hey, man, he's all over the place here lately.
Yeah, he
Bro,
definitely
of
Really,
is.
course
real.
you went fucking rogue.
Hey,
You're
me too,
always
bro.
going rogue. We
Hey, you
all
know
saw
what?
that
I told
apology from.
myself, I said, rogue is a class. I'm going rogue. Whatever, I'm
Yo,
going rogue. It's
same
always
man.
rogue.
Hey, Umbra, big bow shit, man. Big Sony bow and arrow shit, man.
Ha.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Playing with my robe, I think to myself, I said, this is how I would imagine Atreus will feel if we ever got to play with him in God of War. I don't know if you get to play with him in Ragnarok. I haven't touched Ragnarok. 2018 is mid as fuck to me. I'm still trying to force myself to get through that. Maybe 2018 get a pro patch. Maybe I'll check it out. But I always like the way I feel my robe from the quick melee to the arrows. I was like, yo, I feel like the female Atreus right now. So yeah,
Mm.
Rogue is definitely a way to go. But the Rogue combat to me is just so fucking deep so far. And I'm pretty sure my Rogue and Umbra Rogue is two different rogues, and that's just one class. So to think about stuff like, the mage, right? The
Mm.
soldiers, the shield and sword, sweet, you know, bread and butter build that you can always rely on. I'm just so intrigued, man, and I'm sorry, man. Like I see people in the chat, getting their opinions off about Colt, getting their opinions off about Mr. Matty plays. I'm sorry, but I mean, I respect those guys, and I do go to them for reviews here and there. But this year and this generation has really taught me that just play games for yourself. I can name plenty of games from both of those people you just named that they shit on, and somebody I really like is Skilla. Skill Up did say he do not recommend Dragon Age. I've been playing it. I couldn't disagree more. A lot of people got their takes and their opinions. This might be a conspiracy hot hat theory I'm gonna put on. A lot of reviewers didn't get review codes, so I feel like it's some
Mm.
underlying back behind the scenes. Hey, let's all unite against this game because such and such didn't get a review code. Well, I mean, when you keep getting review codes just to shit on shit, I mean, I hope you guys don't get review codes. I'm supposed to feel bad that the million subscriber YouTubers who bring home thousands a month didn't get a review code. Meanwhile, the average channels like us is paying full price just so I can get y'all a review whenever I can. I mean, I don't feel bad for them, yo. So
Well, you know what I think about that, Nero, and look here, man. It may never get to that level of status. It's not even a goal, right? To be perfectly honest,
mhm.
I wouldn't say no to it, but it's not a goal. But here's the thing, man. I think just like when we were talking about you do what you can as far as what your pockets will allow you to do when it comes to gaming, right? I noticed that a while back, some of these guys they they review strictly based on what they like or what they think it should have been based on a past experience, and they don't embrace it for what it is. And in that, a lot of times they just kind of shit on these different games, and they just can't say, like me, I can say, hey, look, these style of games are not for me, but what I found is this was actually pretty dope. I'm kind of looking forward to playing this game or whatnot. it's like they can't do the same thing. It's like, well, it's not like what I liked, and since this mechanic was a little off, it's shitty. Please don't play
Yeah.
it. And so,
Mm.
the thing is, man, the more you talk down on a game, the more you shit on a game, the more people are going to say, well, I wonder why. So now
Hmm.
they're going to sit through your whole video. They're going to go back to you because, hey, now you're my style of reviewer or whatever you want to say, for whatever that is. And so sometimes I just think that it's easy for people to get caught up in their own hype, and they're
Hmm.
going to put out what they put out, and that's perfectly fine. You put out
Definitely
what
respect to
you,
everybody.
yeah, you
Your
stand
opinion
on.
is your
That's what
opinion,
you
man.
believe. You stand on it, and it is what it is. But I just think sometimes, it just. I listen to some of these reviews, and because I used to kind of
It make
be,
me think sometimes, are you even gamer? Do you even enjoy gaming? The way some of you
well,
guys sound
also,
like.
I'm also, hearing that a lot of people who did not like Starfield, let's say the
Damn,
first
like,
time through, they didn't actually go through the dialogue options. They just
mm,
literally click 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 to get through the game so they can get out a review by a
sounds about
date.
right.
But they actually didn't go through the side missions and the side quests and all the different dialogue trees, and to see what was really going on, to see why these characters are really popping and other ones weren't. Because I found that the characters, the companions that I chose in Starfield, and I know we're talking about Dragon Age,
Hmm.
but I found that those were pretty compelling, and some were like, well, they were
Yep.
boring. And I thought they were actually pretty good
Yo,
because
the
I went down the
same.
rabbit hole.
Yo,
So
so
it's the
I'm the
same kind.
same thing, yo.
So it's the same kind of thing with Dragon
Everybody
Age.
is shitting on Dragon Age campaigns. I'm like, yo, these are some of the fucking dopest campaigns I done had. Like, I'm like, I literally, even the people I didn't think I would not like at first, getting to know them, talking to them, and going to do they missions and shit. I'm like, yo, I like all of you motherfuckers, yo. I'm mad I can only have two of you with me at a time.
See, so man, so it's it works for them, but I see a lot of people
I agree,
kind of
Demo.
moving away from really taking their reviews kind of to heart, as I think in the past they really have. But I think now they're kind of saying, you know what, it's sounding real suspect, and those on social media are kind of like, some of these tweets and some of these things you're putting out is a little suspect, and I don't know. I think I might be moving around and find someone different. But my thing, I'm just like you. You know what? You put your circle. If I know that Nero likes third person games and he plays a lot of third person games and he has good valid points about what he's seeing and what he's playing, and so does Panda in these third person games, and they know I love them, then I'm going to go to him and say, hey, Nero, what you think about this? Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Panda, what you think about this? Or maybe, hey, Ember, what you think about this? And I'm going to stay within that realm. I'm not going outside to someone who typically does not like this style of game or
Definitely.
who always finds fault in it. I want to get an honest opinion because this is a style of game that you like. And sometimes you just get pigeonholed into what you like, and you like what you like.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
that being said,
And we also
eh,
gotta admit, like, not everybody's gonna like what we like. Because I mean, sometimes when I see some of these reviewers, I don't take it personal, but I take it personal to an extent because I love Bioware and I want them and need them to be successful so I can get a good Mass Effect game in the future. So if they put out a game that is a huge improvement over their last Anthem and fucking
mm,
Andromeda, let's give them fucking flowers for putting out a game that is miles better than their last two games.
Yeah.
Let's
I
be
think
happy that this game is being successful so me and Panda can get a fucking Mass Effect for it. That's all I'm saying. Like, as a gamer, I'm starting to think a lot of these reviewers is just not gamers at heart.
hmm.
I need to see what the fuck difficulty they are all playing on. Everybody who talks shit about the
well, it's
combat,
because
being
I feel
if
like
you
a
playing
lot
on
of
normal,
people
I
are
don't want to hear
just
it.
I feel like a lot of people are after like the next big thing, the next wowzer thing, something to like catch them off because we've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
gaming for so long that like you don't get surprised by as much as you would when you first start gaming and getting introduced to new types of games and genres and things like that. And so some people are just they don't get wowed by something that they may have got wowed by 10 years prior. I also think like you do need to be as objective as you can be in a review. And yes, you can put your opinion on what it was for you and such, but also, like you said, there are some people who like a certain style of games. And like, if you know that that sort of falls within that, then you're like, hey, if you like this type of game, give it a go. I recommend you to at least try it and see what you think. And so that's my mentality. Like whenever I'm talking to people and they're like, "Hey, what did you think of this? And what did you think of this?" I'm like, "I loved it for this, this, and this reason." But I'm not gonna put a spin on it, which is just my opinion, my opinion, my opinion, and kind of shove it down their throats because they're just wanting a feel for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'll talk to them about the mechanics and other stuff in the world building, but I don't want to kind of hinder their playthrough of a game by just warping it with what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
I'm very mindful about the way I talk about a game when I'm talking about games with other people. If they're like wanting to hear my opinion before they pick it up, yeah. And I feel like a lot of these reviews, it's really just what can we say? How can we get clicks? Not everyone. There's some people who are generally genuine with their reviews, and that's great. But the biggest opinion and voice you should be listening to when we're talking about reviews is your own.
definitely.
And people forget
I
that.
agree. Panda, you fucking cooked with that that speech right there, yo. I'm gonna clip that and post that shit later on this week. But I definitely agree. I guess like my frustration sometimes with these bigger guys. We're gonna move on after this, right? But
Yeah.
it's just like I just think these guys don't realize how much influence they have sometimes. You know, like I say, for
I think
Bioware
some
to
of them
have such
realize
a trouble.
exactly how much influence they
You're
fucking
right. You're
have.
right. And you know
100%.
what? And if they
That
do
part
realize,
right
that
there.
makes them even worse. Though you're even a bigger piece of shit. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like yo, I love Bioware, and they have been like on the verge of probably not existing, guys. So it's like if you love these studios, just for the love of gaming, man, like let's just stop wanting shit to fail. It's okay with wanting something that's greedy, that's ignorant, or something that offends you, or something you believe in. You don't want to see that shit be successful. That's fine, but just sit around and call yourself a gamer and want shit to fail. We knew Concord was going to fail. Nobody here wanted it to fail. We just knew and acknowledged that it was going to fail.
Well, we're about to get to that bit in a moment
Definitely.
with Concord. But I just wanted to quickly add Red Wolf Renegade. Thank you. Hello. Welcome in the chat. He is putting his Dragon Age review up on his channel in a few minutes. So if you want to watch a review from him about Dragon Age Veilguard, jump over to Red Wolf's Renegade's
Red Wolf, I'm
channel
pretty sure
after the show,
yeah,
after our
after the
show,
show, after the show. Now I'm
after the
pretty sure
show.
I'm subbed to you, Red Wolf. But can you just DM me the review on YouTube afterwards? I would definitely check it out. Even if I just wait until I beat the game to go see how our thoughts compare with each other, I would just definitely
He's
like
just
to do
saying
that.
he's saying it's more of a impressions video at this point and based on the amount of
Okay.
time he's put in. So there we
Okay.
go. So it's a review in progress, I guess.
Okay. So, guys, real quick before we hop into the main topics, I just also wanted to highlight the latest Life is Strange. The Metacritics on that. Let me bring it up on my phone. Wrong phone. I feel like an idiot. But I believe it was 79, 77, something like that. Let me see.
It
I got it
was
right. 70.
74
Oh my,
Metacritic
that's
and
okay.
71 OpenCritic. And that
Okay,
was as of when
I
you put that information. It might have changed since then. But
just wanted to highlight that, yo, because I recently beat Life is Strange 1 once again, thanks to that's the only one I didn't play. Thankfully, it was in PS Plus, so I played it via there. Got the platinum, fully completed it. So I have now officially fully completed every single Life is Strange game, I think, except for Before the Storm. People said that one sucked. I'll try it out myself one day, but I'm not in a rush. But Life is Strange 1, absolutely loved it. My second favorite, Life is Strange 2, is definitely my favorite. I recommend. And Life is Strange True Colors is dope. So I definitely look forward to checking this out. It's just kind of hard buying these type of style games full price day one. I always like getting them for 20, 30. That is more my range. But the moment it go on sale, I will be happy to check it out. And also shout out to Sonic. I'm not sure if we touched on that last week. I can't remember if it launched before the last episode or after. But either way, shout out to Sonic Generations and Shadows. They sold 1 million copies. That is absolutely amazing to them.
well done.
Wow.
Sega, Atlas, Sega is just killing it right now. I will be 1 million in whatever number they are at because I do plan on picking that up. I just can't be picking up games and not finishing the shit that I got now. So after I finish Dragon Age and stuff like that, maybe I'll still check it out though, because Sonic and stuff is like Sonic, Astrobot, Hi-Fi Rush. Those is games I call good palate cleansers, as Soul would call them. It's just like When you get done getting shitted on in Call of Duty in Nuketown, you might just want to go run around with Sonic and then get mad because you can't S tier the stage like you used to when you was younger.
Okay.
Talking about myself.
I
So
just wanted to quickly add in there as well. Not to do with Life is Strange. Sol, did you want to add anything to the Life is Strange piece?
Well, no. But I do want to ask a question though. Life is Strange. Is the gameplay style similar to the game it dropped into Game Pass when we had like a real dry drought?
it's talking
It
about
was
As Dust
Are you
Falls.
still can tell me why?
yo,
Come on, you know.
yo.
So I know, I know, brother. Come on now, man.
Is it like that?
It's okay. So I would say, yeah, kind of similar in the same vein, but I'm gonna be honest, yo. I played a lot of these
Around
style
your
games.
choices? Yeah.
As Dust Falls is in a league of itself.
Because
But as
I
far as making choices,
enjoyed
yes.
Did you
that
play
game.
Tell Me Why?
That's the only one I ain't played, and I own it on Xbox though.
Tell Me Why. I was going to say that's in that vein.
Okay,
of
because that was the first style of game that I played like that, and I said, okay, I heard it's good. People are talking about it's really, really good. You got to play it. I'm like, I don't want to play this bullshit. And I turned it on, and I was sitting there. I was so captivated, and I was so calculated. Like, what's going to happen if I make this choice? So I really dug that game, and I really need to go back and do a second playthrough so I can see how these other choices, how my choices would be now, because it's been a while since I played it pretty much right at release, and I really enjoyed it. And I was just like, this is the damn power of Game Pass. I would have never bought that game ever. $15, $20, $5. I probably wouldn't have bought the game, right? But I really enjoyed it. So if Life is Strange is similar, then for me, I might need to check it out.
I definitely think you should, man. Especially Life is Strange 2. If I ever see that on sale I will send that to someone. I mean, it's just a beautiful story, man, and it really touched the heartstrings, man. And you know, being a colored brother, 2 is following 2 Hispanic boys, so you can kind of assume the little undertones and stuff like that, man. I'm not, fucking games made me tear up, yo. Like on some real shit. Like it's moments that really is like fucking heart jerking. And I love any game that can make me feel emotions, whether it's rage, Apex, Call of Duty, or just joy and happiness, or just disappointment. I mean, I just love gaming, man.
Those games are all about connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Okay.
I love them so much. They're really good. They're really
You
good.
You really grow to love the characters, man. Like, for sure.
You get invested.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna point something out. Just foolishness.
Yeah, go before I move on. If I say my next thing.
No. Because hey, Nero, now I need you to just kind of watch what you've been saying here lately.
Oh man,
because earlier you were talking about whispering in ears, and now you're talking about jerking, dude. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if what we need to do.
It's because he's not on cam, so he can say what he wants.
I don't know if we need to set up a GoFundMe or something. But you're talking about whispering in ears. You're talking about jerking. Let's get it together.
Look, man. It's not my fault that fucking games is tear jerkers, man. All right, they jerked the fuck out of my eyes. I ain't jerked my own eyes. They did it against my own will. Now that I think about it, I didn't want to cry that night, but here I am. I will say, Life is Strange: True Colors is probably the weakest one so far. Out of all the ones I've played. Yeah. Pause. No Diddy, man. No Diddy.
Say a lot of baby oil, baby. All right, go ahead.
So I guess we're about to get into the main topics, but Panda, did you want to touch on the Indiana Jones?
I just wanted to talk a little bit about. Has anyone watched the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle impressions people have had after playing about?
I have watched a couple.
I've watched a few people's different impressions, and
are you more excited now than you were before? Soul.
Yes, I am. Okay, first of all, I've got a little wisdom, so I'm
an
older
indie
than
fan,
everybody
so
here. I am an indie fan. Like I remember going to see every last movie, and so
I have not seen the last one though. I haven't because I was so disappointed with the Crystal
Skulls
that I was like, I don't know
the,
if you can redeem yourself after that one.
okay, the more I watch the Crystal Skulls, I can appreciate it a little. It's the thing of the same thing. This ain't indie. This is not the indie so I get what I was talking about earlier, and
Yeah,
I have to catch myself. The more I watch Crystal Skulls, the more I'm kind of like, yeah, I still feel the same way, but I can receive it a little bit better.
better. You're
This
more open to
one, this one has strong points
it. Okay,
and it has some weak points.
it's a
It is
mixed
what it
bag.
is. But 1 through 3 are always going to be the best. There's not going to be anything better than Raiders, Temple of Doom, and
Last
Crusade.
Crusade.
It's not happening unless it comes in video game form.
Yeah,
So
which is
this
what
could
this is gonna be,
so
hopefully.
this could be it because the impressions that I got from the guys that I watched, they were pretty positive about it, and I'm excited. I'm so excited about this game.
This might be the new movie you guys want. It's 3 hours of cutscenes
Yeah,
and cinematics, so that's pretty much a new movie within
well,
itself.
it's a new
I'll
movie.
take it.
That's some Sony type shit, putting all
What
these cutscenes in there. But
I really liked about the previews was just listening to the fact that you're going to locations that you didn't spend a lot of time in, like you're at the university, you're getting to see that version of Indy, then you're getting to see the version where he's outside of the school. And just the fact that like it's more in line with what you expected like the movies to be. So it's not this action driven game the way it
Mm-hmm.
like around like what Uncharted would be, or even
Tomb
what
Raider, yeah.
Tomb Raider would be. But it's there's a lot more stealth, and like you've got to be a lot more smart about things with the way you approach different situations. And the puzzles. I like the fact that it's a lot
Hmm.
more puzzles.
Hmm.
Because like that's what you expected, like based on like the
The
movies.
movies,
Yeah.
yeah,
And so it sounds like this is a bit of a love letter to Indiana Jones fans and Indiana Jones as a whole. Um, and I'm so excited. I'm such an indie fan too, Soul. So I'm super excited to play this game. Yeah.
yeah. And so I think the thing that really has me intrigued is how it is so happy or excited, I should say, is that it is aligned with the movies, the indie that we do know. He's not running around with, he's just packing a submachine gun all the time or a Tommy gun or whatever you want to say. He has pretty much a 6 shooter, or maybe a Colt. Just depending on the time frame. So he might have a Colt, he might have a 6 shooter. He definitely has his whip. And in the movies he'll pick up whatever is available, but you can go through all the movies and he wasn't just gunning folks down unless he was on some kind of a heavy machinery or something like that. He was always about using his wits, using the environment. They haven't really said if he's going to use the environment a lot in this, but I hope that they do have a little bit of that in there. I
I
know that you
assume so.
I hope so, but I know that you can do the old throw the rock, get the guard to look that way. They have that type of thing going on. Okay, cool. And for me, that's probably never going to get old. I mean, it didn't get old when I used it in Mafia 3, right? I'm throwing something, next thing you know, yeah. So it's probably never going to get old because I'm going to be like a kid again playing this game, watching this
Mm.
movie in a sense, but I get to play the role of it. So I'm really excited about their approach and to not make it over the top, these huge, firefights. And who knows, they didn't, all
It
the
sounds
guys that
like
I
it's
watched, they never talked about big set pieces, and I don't think that they were allowed to talk about it, to make sure we have some surprise about it. So I'm
it's
really
grounded in
excited to see.
reality, but also grounded
Yeah,
in the world that is indie from what
Indiana
we grew up
Jones.
with. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
As
So
long as there's no crystal skulls, I'm quite happy.
I think we'll be good with that.
I think we'll be good with that too.
What I am hoping for, though, and that I'm getting besides myself because I'm such a fan of the series, is that I'm hoping that, because I know this is around the time frame when Short Round would have been someone that he would get with here and there. If they go and do another game, if they do one, I would love to see him as a companion somewhere, just on some of the action pieces, because I just thought he was such a good comedic partner with Indy. If you notice, most of the leading ladies in these movies, they were comedic partners. Short Round was that third one, when you think about the Temple of Doom, and I
Mm.
think it just went over very well, and a lot of people just fell in love with that character of Short Round. And then we saw him again in the Goonies. It was instant, just like, we love this kid because we saw him in this one
It was
capacity.
so nice seeing him again. Like,
Right,
and then
right,
he
right.
showed up in Loki as an adult, and then he showed up in what was it? That oh my god,
Here, there, everywhere, and all that other
yeah,
shit.
that movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yo, have y'all seen the trailer for the new movie he's in? He's like the star. It's like this action. He's like this.
Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah,
That
I was
looks
like, yes,
good.
I just have a
That
love
looks
for
good.
him. He just got such good warmth
He
to him.
really,
But
really,
yeah,
really, really does. So I'm hoping that down the line they give us something like that, and I would not be surprised if somewhere they do have a third person playthrough all the
Mm.
way. I would not be surprised if we don't get it 6 months to a year later. I mean, they've done parts of the game in third person where they go into these different action sequences. So I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit more of that, and they just kind of hit that switch and give us a whole fresh new
give you the
game at that
toggle
point in
option.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Nero, what are your thoughts?
I'm just super excited for it. Like I said, I'm anything Machine Games put out. Now, to answer your question, me personally, I'm not no more, no less hype about it. Actually, no, I would say I'm a little more hype actually. But all them impressions pretty much confirmed everything I initially, thought and believed. I
Yeah,
just trust Machine Games. Like I said, like back to what me and Soul said earlier, I wish it was
thank you,
third
Umbra.
person, only because that would be something different from what I'm used to from Machine Games. But
Mm-hmm.
them guys is goated, yo. Them guys make really good games. And if you haven't played the Wolfenstein games, I definitely recommend them.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Definitely.
Agreed. Agreed.
It's good stuff.
All right. So we're moving over to one of our main topics, but before we do, just want to say a quick shout out to the chat. Thank you everybody for sticking around and watching us today, and we're just having a good show. Um, just hit that like button, share it out, and just tell everybody or tell Soul how much you missed him last week or anything. Yeah. We missed you, Soul, anyway. Yeah. I mean, we were
I
Definitely.
messy
miss,
last week.
I,
We
mi-
were
I
high
missed y'all
last
definitely.
week. I could have been high today, but I have work to do after the podcast. So I was
I
like, I
know
can't
that's
be
right.
high.
I know
Excuses,
that's right.
Panda. We'd
I
always
was like, I
excuses.
need my work to be good.
Good.
Um, and just not be like, oh, yeah, she'll be right. But okay, first topic, and I think everyone's had talked about it who's done a show this week so far once the news broke, is the Concord developers, so
Mhm.
Firewalk Studios, was closed down by Sony this week. It was announced this week. It was closed
Tough.
down. Herman Holst put I guess, in an email out to the company, and then this wasn't the only one that was closed down. Sony also closed down Neon Koi, who was working on a mobile action game. But we're going to start off with the Firewalk Studio developers. We talked about what happened with Concord and how initially, when it was first discussed around the cost of this game was in development for 8 years and it cost $200 million to make, and that was before the acquisition. Like, that wasn't even the factoring the acquisition. And then later on, it was rumored that it actually cost 400 million, that they've already sunk into it, and then they closed it. There was like an update the other week on Steam to do with the game, and it seemed like they were going to make this free to play. But after obviously looking at everything and probably looking at how much more money were going to have to sink into the game to get it up and running, it wasn't going to have the return on investment that they were after. And so they've closed it, and Concord is dead now. So we're not getting Concord back as a free to play game. I'm going to throw to Soul to start us off. What are your thoughts? Because I think we all discussed it in the past of what we thought was going to happen with this game. Are you surprised by it being shut down? What are your thoughts there?
I'm not surprised. The industry itself is in flux.
Yes.
I think I was just about to copy and paste in here with RSJ fan and talk about that in the chat. I think everyone on both sides, excuse me, Sony and Xbox. I think everyone on those two camps are kind of on pins and needles in a little bit after we saw what happened with Tango. We saw a hit come from Tango, a fan hit. Maybe it
Hmm.
didn't, the dollars maybe didn't make sense, but as far as, gamers, we were like, yo, this is fire. And it was fire. But it didn't hit financially. And I'm
It
not
made it feel like
surprised.
nobody was safe, right?
Right. And it made us feel like nobody was safe. So I think the thing that it is Microsoft, baby. I think the thing that they have on their side is they got money and they can afford to keep things open a little while
Hmm.
longer than anybody else, and nobody else can do that. Sony can't afford to do it, unfortunately. I'm sure that they would have loved to have done that, but it's a business and they have to make business decisions. And unfortunately, a lot of people are affected by that. I think what it was like 210 total for both Firewalk and the other dev
Yeah.
team.
Yep.
So
Neon
that's
Koi.
yeah, Neon Koi. So I think that's 210 lives that are affected, and then out of those 210, you never know who has a family that's waiting on them at home,
Hmm.
who has medical bills and different situations that's going on, or who's taking care of parents or loved ones. So
Yeah.
it's very unfortunate when people lose their jobs, and it's nothing that they did per se. This is just a bad all around move for Sony. They are moving into this games as a service, and they're kind of all over the place with it. This was a game that was being cooked for 8 years, and it's like they didn't read the room about what the trends are with these types of games, and they didn't bother to give you that upon release. You would have thought in 8 years they would have cooked up something a little bit better to give the game a chance. The marketing for it wasn't bad that I saw, but there was no way in hell this was going to be the next Star Wars for them.
Yeah.
So that process doesn't even make sense. I mean, I can understand
I had
loving your
You don't have
baby
the
and everything.
world building for it to be the next Star
Yeah, they,
Wars.
they they didn't
There was no
have that.
story.
No, and I think what they were going to do is really rely on the episodic part where they were going to kind of keep giving you the story in episodes, which is not a bad idea. But look at how that turned out for Microsoft and what Quantum Break. It didn't turn out, and Microsoft kind of went half-ass in that as well. It was a
I
good dope
loved
game
Quantum
though.
Break, I'll
That
be
was that was
honest.
a
I
that was
always
Yeah.
a
I
wanted
dope
love
a
that game.
sequel.
that was a dope game. I think they just didn't follow through with the concept. But you know
Hmm.
who else had that same concept that they were supposed to do? Kind of like a TV show, movie slash deal thing with it. The damn Division with Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And that didn't pan out. But now the Division, we all know how that's going up and down. And who knows if we're even going to get another Division game, at this point in time. But getting back to this, it's unfortunate. But to say that I'm surprised, not at all. Not at all. The industry is trending that way, and this won't be the last dev team. The last this won't be the last one that we see get shuttered on both sides. On both
Yeah.
sides, it's going to happen again. So hopefully these teams will move and put out games that people enjoy and they can see that return. um, both Microsoft and Sony can see the return, and then they say this is viable, and hopefully keep these teams alive, and they kind of live another day. Kind of like in Friday, but you live another day, and hopefully
Hmm.
can put out something that can really help both of the services that they have, because at this point in time, Game Pass is Game Pass, and Game Pass is going to keep Game Passing. And this was it PS Plus, that's going to have to, it's got to catch up to it. And if they're going to really use that, they got to start dropping things in day and date. They have to start dropping things in day and date and PC, which we all know it's coming. It's got to happen, because if they don't start doing it, then like King Dave said, he's what, 98% right, as he likes to say. Man, this could be, especially with this 10-year news of this PS5 or PS5 Pro, man, this might be the last damn PlayStation, and that's kind of a crazy world. that we're living in, could you imagine having one console, one ring to rule them all? That
Nope.
that
Yeah,
that would
man,
suck.
that would
That would
not be
suck.
good for the industry at all.
That would not be good.
That would not
That's
be
not
good, man.
good. And it's not that it's, Microsoft would just become this monster or anything like that, where the game prices are through the roof and there's no innovation. We've seen that they will try to keep some prices down as best as they possibly can at different times. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel that way, but they've been the industry leader in all this innovation that we get as gamers. If you really think about it, not to be biased, but they really do. So I think we will continue to get that. I just think that you know, having to manage all these different, if let's say they keep making acquisitions and they become, the biggest publisher out there, because I think is Tencent bigger
Yep.
at this point still?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but Microsoft is kind of on their way, but I just don't know if I want to see one big console player because they're moving
You
in
don't want
another
a monopoly?
generation or two. No, 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 no.
What
I
is
wouldn't
this?
want that. I think in another generation or two, I mean, most folks will kind of go away from the console anyway. I think there's just going to be other options that technology is going to meet, and the console is not going to be a space where we spend a lot of time. It will be
Yeah.
PC-ish. It'll be some kind of a hybrid thing going on. So I don't know, but I'm not surprised. And I feel for the families that are affected. I hope they land on their feet. And as we all know, Microsoft will bring you on the same way they brought on Brian Horton, but we'll talk about that later.
Hmm.
Nero, what about your thoughts? Because I know you during the week you put up a post from our episode where we were talking about it when they first announced that it was a 200 million had been sunk into this game. Yeah. Were you surprised? Are you? Because I mean, none of us are happy that developers are
Yeah,
losing jobs.
definitely not happy. This is not the podcast where we come to celebrate people losing their jobs. So sorry to disappoint, but
But
man,
that's
look,
after
this
the
this
show,
is
right?
yeah. Hey, as soon as this shit in, man, smoking on that. No, I'm just playing. But this is not surprising at all, man. And that's the part I posted on Twitter. I was trying to find a different part, Panda, and I know you guys remember, but I was just saying like we all laughing about Concord now, but we all gonna be misty eyed in 2-3 weeks or a month or two from now when they close down. And I said that I wish I could find that, and I got $2 for anybody that can go find that clip, one of the old podcast episodes. But it wasn't surprising, but it was disappointing. Um, for as flawed as Concord is, it's just as flawed on Sony part as it is the people that got fired. Okay, you as a publisher, as the overseer, you did nothing to set that game up for success. You greenlit it that it wasn't going to be free to play. Yo, did they freeze on my screen?
You go. No, you go.
No.
Oh, okay, okay. But yeah, man, it's not surprising at all. It is disappointing. I hate to see people get fired and stuff like that, but this should just goes to show that you have to listen to community feedback. I think if Sony would have listened to the feedback, even after the initial gameplay reveal, it should have got delayed then and there. It should have been free to play,
Should have
or
been
at the
delayed
very
after the
least,
fucking closed open beta did nothing.
yeah, exactly. The open beta definitely didn't do anything, yo. And then it's like, if you're
It's
gonna
just
make a
like
multiplayer game, man, put that shit everywhere. You need to if you're gonna take a chance on a game that's already trying to copy another game, and copy a genre that people is tired of anyway,
you got to
why not
innovate.
put it everywhere, man? You gotta have and grow a fan base, man. And I'm pretty sure it was hundreds of people that really did like Concord. I know a few people that really did. Shout out my homie Gritty, that really enjoyed the game before they took it back. But I'm not surprised, man. It is disappointing, and that's just typical Sony, man. Everybody want to talk about Microsoft when they buy up studios and mismanage them. I don't think Microsoft mismanaged Tango nearly. I mean, at least every game Tango fucking put out under Microsoft is still in the store right now, right? Can still be bought
Can
across
I
multiple
just say
platforms.
that the fact that we're not getting that discourse, whereas everyone was calling out with Redfall going like they mismanaged that studio, they shouldn't have released this game, and so on and so forth. Where are those articles for Concord? Yes, it's a sad day that the studio's closed, but it feels like there was mismanagement in that space. And we know that they talked about the whole toxic positivity in the past. But it's very interesting, the discourse, and it feels like the kid gloves used when it comes to PlayStation versus just ripping off the Band-Aid and just all fair game when it comes to Xbox, and just it's frustrating to see that they're not consistent. Like they don't keep the same energy regardless of what's happening. The energy is very different when it comes to Xbox versus PlayStation for these people who write the articles. I'm not going to call the journalists because some of them don't deserve that title. Yeah. Sorry, Nero, continue.
Nah, I agree with what you just said. I mean, like I said, I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed in Sony. I'm disappointed in both of the companies because I just witnessed them failure from the higher ups on both ends. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know, I feel like Tango could have thrived, could have stayed. I mean, they sold it, so that's better than what Firewalk was
dealing with. Picked it up, so well, I can't remember the name of that studio, but they picked it up.
Crafton, right?
Yeah, Crafton. Yeah,
Crafton picked them up, so at least they got sold. You know, I feel like if I'm the devs, I might have a bitter taste in my mouth towards Sony, man. You know, people like to blame the devs, but I'm holding the higher. I'm holding the person that acquired them. You acquired them to fire them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. I'm not a fan of that.
I talked about it in a previous episode where I just felt like they kind of got left out to dry. Like the marketing wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that they had the game, they did the announcement with the CGI trailer, and then like a year later we got to see another trailer with some gameplay, and then there was the closed beta, the open beta, and the game was out, and they were like, and we're also going to keep expanding the story with these cinematics and the characters, and I was like, they missed an opportunity by having those cinematics, which were expensive. Like releasing those prior to the release of the game, and then if like it could have been, hey, do like more, I don't know how it was going to be, but like you get introduced to the character, a little bit about their story, and then you go, if you want to know more, hey, we're going to expand on that. And there wasn't enough of that, and it just felt like the game was left out too dry.
I agree, which is very unfortunate to see. And I just feel like Sony, man, you know, I'm happy you mentioned the cinematic trailer because I feel like that was the beginning of the end. Don't announce a cinematic trailer for a fucking live service multiplayer shooter, hero shooter at that. Because when I seen that Concord, I said, oh, this might be PlayStation firing shots at Concord. Like, hey, we can make our own space RPG. And I think a lot of people thought that because they wasn't clear off rip. When you don't be clear from the beginning, you set you got so many fans being pulled in so many directions trying to guess what your game might be. And boom, you lead them to disappointment. And I was really hoping that shit was going to come back because it's been getting updates on Steam, even though it's removed and stuff. It's been getting updates on the back end. So I was one of the guys that, I'm going to be honest, I was really hoping that this game got a chance of redemption. I'm sorry, but it's the same reason I was extremely, and I still feel the type of way about Redfall being given up on. I love when people get to make a second, get another chance, man. Everybody makes mistakes, man. My favorite studios of all time has had bad launches. Bethesda with 76, Cyberpunk, you know, one of the best games ever created, was one of the worst games day one ever created.
You look at Uncharted and what came after Uncharted with Uncharted 2. So Uncharted was obviously proof of concept, right, for the game. And then Uncharted 2 was just next level in that regard as to what they brought. And they took a lot of learnings away from the first game to deliver on the next game. But we're just seeing like the bottom line is like the cost of games to deliver on what they want to deliver on. It's very expensive. So they're like, if it doesn't have the return on investment that they're after, they're not willing to take another chance generally, unless the fans are there.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
It's definitely sad, and it's definitely unfortunate, man. But This is just the world we living in, man. Every studio is one bad game away from potentially being the end of that studio. And moments like this is why I hate when people give games, like I'm gonna keep going back to it. Dragon Age the Veilguard. You got so many people wanting this game to fail. And if this game was to fail the way they wanted to fail, and this was the end of BioWare, where do you go from there? People is calling for the end of fucking Ubisoft. When Ubisoft shut down and disappeared, what the fuck you gonna go to? Like, why do
Yeah.
people think studios ceasing to exist will be better for the industry? No, studios getting burnt from dumb decisions and learning from that is good for the industry. But just
Mm,
ceasing to exist is just dumb, man. And that's why I have so much beef with these people, and I can't look at them as real gamers, because what real gamer just want devs to just cease to exist, man?
yeah.
It makes no sense, yo. It makes no
It's
sense.
hardwired to focus on the negative, and so they're like, let's just focus on the negative. I know, like, when we first talked about the closure of this and how much it cost to make the game, I originally said, like, they've already spent $200 million. Why would you walk away from that investment on a game? And I just assumed that they were going to go free to play
That's what I
and do
thought too.
and do some work with those fucking characters.
Yeah, them
Um,
characters, yeah.
Hey, they were horrible.
Horrible,
They were
man.
horrible.
To this day, man, I
Um,
don't know what they was thinking on those characters, yo. Like,
And I
seriously.
feel like the week after we found out it was more like 400 million. And again, that's rumored, and that isn't including the acquisition for the game. And this is after whatever they'd already put into the game before PlayStation had even acquired them. And at that point, I think my opinion changed, knowing that they'd already doubled down on the 200 million, put another lot in, and this is the product they delivered. And
Mhm.
we all sort of I made the assumption that I assumed we were probably going to hear a closure on the studio unless they could dramatically change something in the game.
Yeah.
And then off the back of that, and knowing that Herman Holst had championed that, I assumed that there would be discourse around Herman Holst as well, like
Yeah, it's about
potentially
time for
going,
him to hit the road.
why is he not stepping down? Because every
Yeah.
time something's happened, everyone's like, Sarah Bond needs to step down, Mac Birdie needs to step down, Phil needs to fucking step down, especially after the Redfall debacle and like closing that Arcane branch. And I was like, but there's none of that discourse there around it. And it's just fucking interesting looking at it and going, why the hell are they like, you never want to hear it. Like, I wouldn't call out and go, Herman Holst needs to stand down. But my assumption was that based off the reaction that everyone else had to Xbox studios closing down and Xbox games maybe not performing as well, that the same energy that they put into those would be the same conversation that would be happening around this. And it's just not the same conversation. It's sad, and I feel bad for those developers, and some of them probably will end up working in other areas within Sony, but they'll have to go outside and work somewhere else, or start their own independent studio. But I wasn't surprised when they announced the closure. There was a 50-50 chance where they're going to get the game back free to play, or it was going to be the studio was closing. I did not think that they were going to allow the studio to start fresh on another game after already investing that much money. So it was one or the other. It was either they were going to revive it or the studio was going bye-bye. And out of the two decisions, it's gone. It is gone.
Poof.
It's sad.
Just
But
like that.
it needed. I mean, they had to rip off the Band-Aid at some point. Like, it's like when you've got an infection, right? And you're like, okay, it's reached this point. We need to chop it off here, or else it's going to take the whole limb. Like, it feels like that's what Firewalk was. And they were like, okay, this is really crippling us. And so we just need to cut it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what it seems like. You know, they treated it like it was a cancer and they cut it off. I said, man, just a complete failure from Sony. And I think Herman Holst got to go. I think it's time for him to go. Just like it was time for Jim Ryan to go. I'm tired of all this. Oh, well, we're having the most profit ever. We're having the most profit ever. Well, you also got the most.
Really, never got rid of Sean Layden.
I agree. I mean, they keep saying like they having the most profits, right? But you're having the most failures as well. PSVR 2 failure, PlayStation Portal. I don't know how to feel about that, but I think like not being able to play your games without having your fucking PlayStation own or plugged in is a failure. So it's like, what are we doing here? You know, Concord, a failure. It's like, how many failures can these higher ups have before you got to shake things up?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what they're
Um,
waiting for.
I was quite surprised by the Neon Koi closure, though, considering they were working on a mobile action game. And I guess it's part of Jim Ryan's vision was moving into another market and putting some games out on mobile. And
Mhm.
so maybe they've reevaluated that strategy and gone, all right, well, let's close these guys. We don't really want to be working in this until we can figure out what's happening in these other markets that we're in. I know that Sony still see mobile as a priority growth area that they want to hit. And I think that was talked about by, was it the CEO?
Yeah.
Someone. But they want to focus in line with PlayStation Studios and the pedigree that comes with that. And I understand they really need to get back and get that on track and get those foundations solid before they go and do anything else. Whereas Xbox, I feel like, was solid on what they were delivering. They just didn't, they needed to ramp it up on a higher scale. And that's where all those acquisitions came in.
Mhm.
And yes, the acquisitions do create instability because they have to balance everything out. Um, and so they're feeling a lot more stable than they were and back on track. And so they're probably they're ready for another acquisition anytime soon. But yeah, I was more surprised about Neon Koi because they
Yeah.
hadn't even delivered a game yet and they
Right.
got
Didn't
closed
even
down.
get anything out the door. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, these guys fucked up, so hey, you got to go too. But like, that's
maybe the
it's
game
not
wasn't
cool,
great.
Sony. Not cool. Well,
Maybe
yeah,
they were like, let's walk away from all those losses before we
yeah,
Yeah,
get the.
exactly. That's probably what happened. You
yeah.
know,
That's a high possibility.
at the end of the day, dollars got to make sense, and if it ain't gonna make sense,
Yeah,
you got to go. We
It
got to
ain't
cut
gonna
those
make dollars.
losses. Yeah, it ain't gonna make dollars, so you got to go and cut those losses
very
early.
true, man.
So it is what it is, you know. And like I said, I hate it for the teams that spend time on these games and things of that
Hmm.
nature when these games don't come out. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they gotta return a profit, and when that profit ain't
Got to
profiting, it is what it is. Hey, look here, how much did Phil ask for to get ABK?
a lot.
Exactly. And what do they need to do?
Make
Get
a
that
lot.
money back. Get that
Yeah,
money back in those pockets. So
yes,
until they
sir.
get that money back in those pockets, investors are like, "Yo, you need to get back out in the street, get back out there in that
Hmm.
corner." And
Yeah,
if you gotta look, if you gotta turn the block a couple times, you gotta go around to the neighborhoods you really don't want to go over to. You better get out there and get that money.
yep.
And so whether Phil likes it or not, he made a deal with the devil,
He
and now
did.
it's time.
He
And now
did.
it's time to pay,
Hence,
baby.
hence Project Latitude.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a deal with the devil. But
What's
in
up, Lyric?
order to make sure Xbox existed, this was a deal they had to make. I guarantee the fighting that they're doing on the inside is not over. It's not over. And the thing is, like we were talking about how things change, man, look here, buckle up because there are going to be more things that we don't
Mhm.
like. Old head, diehard console gamers, games being to your platform day one, not going over here. We might not get any more Indiana Jones announcements. They know they jacked that up. They messed up and they know it. Why they did that, I have no idea. That must have come straight down. You better announce it because we're not messing around with this money. Because you cannot tell me Phil,
They
he
waited
is,
like
yeah,
3 months after the game had released. After
yeah.
people
So
had maybe gone out and bought an Xbox, subscribed to Game Pass, and then like 3 months later go, all right, we're going to put it on. I think no
yeah,
matter what they said, they were going to get freaking thrown
they
under
were. So
anyway.
could you imagine? Could you imagine the look on Phil's face? Because we know he's a gamer, right? And we know
Mm.
that Booty plays a little bit, and Sarah, she plays a little bit, but Phil's the gamer, right? Could you imagine the look on his face when they were like, "Yo, that shit needs to drop over there, and we want you to announce it on the same day you announce Indiana Jones, the date we're gonna release it." You got
It was
it. I'm
annoying that
sure.
that was the one more thing. And one
Yeah,
more
and
thing.
and
And I was like, oh,
and
fuck
then
yourself.
and then on
Right.
top of that, not only do you have to do that, you have to let Jeff Keighley do it.
Right. Right.
And
Ah,
and he
yikes.
was like, "Yo, one more thing."
Yeah, he was so happy, and I was like, "Oh, fuck off." Sorry.
It's crazy. So you know how I remember about a Game Awards or two ago when Phil was sitting in the crowd and they kept panning on him and he was like, "This is that bullshit. I really don't want to be here, but I gotta be here."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's how Phil felt when he got the like, "Yo, this is what you need to do. Figure out how you're gonna do it,
Yep.
probably.
but it better happen." So what did they do? So they kind of got him by the balls right now, and they got to make it happen. But the good thing is, Call of Duty exists.
Yes, sir.
All of
Numbers
Duty
are
is
Ultimate money
breaking
crazy.
maker.
fucking records.
Hey,
That's the
hey.
main thing that people are
That's
forgetting. People thought I was going to go down like a
for,
ton of bricks, and I was like,
for my
"Oh,
spades players. That's that big joker right there. Wop wop. That's that big joker. Hey. Outside of GTA, it don't get no bigger. It don't
It's a
get no
fact.
bigger. Because
yeah,
you compare Call of Duty and GTA, they're in a different stratosphere. They're even on a different level from Fortnite. It is
Yeah,
what it
I
is.
agree. It
People
is.
go
Yeah,
crazy for those games. People go crazy for those games, but I digress. Let's keep it popping, y'all.
I agree with everything said from the both of you. I agree. All right, what's that next topic?
we can skip the Horizon mobile MMO if you want. I really don't care about that. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah, we don't.
Horizon.
Yeah, no, don't apologize. Who put that in? I put that in there.
I don't know. But what was interesting this week is the creative director of Marvel's Wolverine
Mm-hmm.
from
Come
PlayStation
on.
and Insomniac is now the
Mm-hmm.
creative director of Perfect Dark at Xbox at the Initiative Studio. I am so fucking curious as to what went down that he left and went to Xbox to work
Shit.
on fucking
It said
Perfect
creative
Dark.
differences.
But I'm like, what type of creative?
I mean,
I'm like, I want to
is he
know. Give
responsible
me
for
the
Spider-Man
tea.
2? Because Spider-Man 2 fucking sucks.
Well, did
So
we
if he,
see? We saw what got released, right? They had Wolverine climbing up the damn walls with his
right, yeah,
claws.
yeah, right,
I
right,
mean,
yeah.
that man, they took assets from Spider Man and
Well, to be
they
honest,
dressed it
like
up as
even
Wolverine.
Wolverine's walk on that was, it felt like the way that Spider-Man walked, and I was like, he's got to have different swagger. He's just got to have a different way that he walks, a different everything to him.
Mm-hmm.
But
Because he
again,
is different at the end of the day.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, I wasn't a fan of what I seen in the leaks, and I'm not a fan of recent Insomniac. Period. I mean, I'm enjoying Ratchet and Clank, which I never, thought I would.
Well, now that
I would.
you're talking about Ratchet and Clank, and it's the Ratchet and Clank leads are now running
I
Wolverine.
mean, can I be
Mm.
honest? In moment of clarity, I think
Hmm.
Ratchet and Clank
Like,
Rift
yes.
Apart is a better. Hey, right now, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart to me is the better game than Spider-Man 2. I platinum Spider-Man 2, and shit just wasn't it. It was a letdown. So I'm not mad about him leaving. Truthfully,
There's more creativity from the portion that I played in Ratchet and Clank and the portion that I didn't play Spider Man 2, but there's a lot of creativity that they did have in Ratchet and Clank.
hmm
And I have to think of Miles Morales and Spider Man. I did play those two,
yeah,
so
Miles Morales was great.
yeah, I dug that. So you're not wrong. There, I don't think it's in bad hands. I don't think so at all. But
I don't.
I
I
like the
agree.
move for both. I like the move for both sides. To be perfectly honest,
hmm I
I
do
think
too.
my
I think
man.
this was
Yeah,
actually a good. I think for both of them. I think Insomniac needs some new people. I mean, I think it's a shakeup all around is needed over at Sony in their studios, and I think this is good for Microsoft because you got somebody who got a good track record. Now, I
hmm
got to see what specific games he had like a really huge, you know, roll with because I might not be a fan of him. So
Hmm.
for me personally, I might not be a fan of this move in general when I go do my due diligence or research. But because I just Spider-Man 2, I'm sorry, but if that's what we going by, if that was his last game and that's what we going by, yo, nobody over there at PlayStation should feel bad
He
about him
was
leaving.
Marvel's. I think he did Miles Morales.
Oh my god, then
hmm
Sony fumbled that because that's the
yeah.
best fucking game. Like that's the best one. He only worked on that one.
who
No,
previously worked
hold
as
on.
creative director on another lauded Insomniac game, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Yeah, he worked on that
Hold on.
one.
I had pulled it up the other day
He's probably
and
worked on Spider-Man too.
damn it,
Yeah, more than likely, I
I
was.
But
forgot
I mean,
what it
Spider-Man 2
was.
was just
Okay, here we go. Oh no, that's Marcus Smith. That's a different guy. But I had it for him. I knew I should have saved that. Gosh dog it. In this little article doesn't
I
have
think
shit about my
I don't think
man.
Ratchet and Clank is ass lyric. I think Ratchet and Clank is I think it's decent. I think they got a lot of creativity going
I think
on with
what's
it from
more
what I've.
surprising is the fact that it's anytime it's surprising is when a developer who works for a first party studio goes and works for a first party
Mm-hmm.
studio of the opposition, of the competition. And I think that's what's the most I guess clickbaity or titillating part of the story is this creative director who worked on Wolverine for Insomniac Games, which is a PlayStation first party, has gone over to work for an Xbox first party studio and has
Mm-hmm.
gone over to work at on the Perfect Dark game. That was the most shocking thing, just hearing like that you'd walk away from a Wolverine
All
product.
all
Like that
right.
IP itself,
Yeah,
if anything, it would be an IP that I like you would love to be a part
yeah,
of.
you would
But
want to
it's
be a part of
interesting to
that.
know that this is the result of creative decisions around the game. So it'll be interesting to see what Wolverine you like gets delivered at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, to I guess to sort of think like if this other person had a different vision for the game, what might have happened based on what actually gets delivered. So it'll be interesting seeing what gets delivered when the game releases. What 2025, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Can I
Hopefully
give
next year.
you
Maybe
can I
he
give
was afraid of
you
pressure and possible backlash that can
nah,
come from
nah.
it.
Let me give you some of the titles that he has worked on. I can't say that these were all creative director, but I am actually on his LinkedIn right now. And Marvel's Wolverine, which we know
Mm-hmm.
is in production, uh, Spider-Man Miles Morales,
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Tomb Raider, Toy Story 3, Spectrobes, that was a Wii game. I don't know what that is. Toy Story Mania, Fear 3, Mummy 3, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. I'm looking at some
Mm.
Medal of Honor. Oh God, I love that game. Gargoyles. I mean, there's other
If he
games I
worked
left
on
out.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, he's probably already
So,
got a working relationship
and
with the
that
head of
was
the
it
initiative.
with Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah,
So, Gallagher. So that's
yeah.
the thing. He worked with them before. So let me just say, I need to bring it up so I can look at the screen. So Gallagher has been working on getting this dude over here for a while, and he finally got a way to get him over here. That's bottom line. You know what? I was
Agreed, Lyric.
Panda. I had a I didn't send it, but I had damn Stone Cold. I wanted that sound effect just for me, and that's the bottom line, baby. So yeah, that is my guy through and through. Gallagher has been working on this. That's what that tells me. And so that also tells me, wait for it, we're gonna get a third person view in Perfect Dark. It's gonna happen.
Mm.
It's gonna happen. Because that's what Crystal Dynamics, that's what they do. The same way that machine games, they do first person. Crystal Dynamics, they do third person, and they do that shit well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get it. I am
I am.
excited about this one right here because it was
Like
already
Perfect
looking
Dark looks
real nice.
fantastic.
It's
Yeah,
funny when you was listing off his resume, you named everything but the worst Spider-Man. Like he worked on every Spider-Man but the one I deemed the worst. So that's it's
There
kind
you
of funny
go.
to me. That's
There
kind of
you
funny
go.
to me. So this
So
might be more
so
detrimental to
yeah,
Sony than I initially
yeah.
thought.
Yeah. So I think they might have got one on this one, you know. And so we'll see how this goes. And I'm excited. I'm excited
I'm
just
excited.
about the possibility of a new game anyway. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so, let's
Definitely.
get it. What they showed us at the last showcase had me like, if I had any doubts about Joanna Dark and the game, they kind of put it to rest just with that brief gameplay that they showed us. So I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. Yes, sir.
It looked dense and like as a I guess a vertical slice. I was like, yes, this looks great.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, they gave us a variety of fighting tactics, gunplay, you know,
Technology in there as
yeah,
well.
technology in there as well. So it's looking real. It's looking real crispy. I'm super excited. I mean, you know, she's sliding around, she's shooting. I don't know if there's some movement in there, but yo,
There's
let's
something.
get it. It's something in there, and I'm
Yeah.
excited about it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be nice. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
All
I'm
right.
definitely excited.
Well, we have one more topic before we round out the show because I know I have been snacking throughout the show, but it is basically my lunchtime.
I feel you.
Um, but Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella says Xbox Game Pass set a new quarter one record for total revenue and average revenue per subscriber. And Microsoft set new records for monthly active users in the quarter as more players than ever play our games across devices and on the Xbox platform. So it sounds like based off this, they're the moves that they have been making around putting their games in different places. If you are playing an Xbox game, you are considered someone who is a monthly active user
Mhm.
because you're logging into your Xbox account in order to whatever it is that you need to get access to for that or Microsoft account. I'm going to throw to Nero on this. What was your first impression after reading this? Um, Surprised at all around that?
Um,
Because
I, I
it's
wasn't
Xbox.
really.
They're talking about Xbox Game Pass in this situation, which is quite cool.
Yeah, I think it's dope. I think this is just the beginning. I wasn't surprised because mostly I think Microsoft has been being downplayed by a lot of people, but I think gamers who really game can see the value that Xbox as a platform brings and Game Pass as a subscription brings. So I'm not really surprised. Now the thing that's kind of surprising me is Q1 because this is before any COD even came, right? This is before Modern Warfare came over the summer.
This is July, August, September quarter. Yeah.
All right, well this is broken then. This record is broken already.
Yeah, wait till quarter
Yeah,
two.
wait until quarter 2 and 3 and 4. God damn it! Whatever quarter we're in right now, where Black Ops dropped, that is going to be the next topic months from now about how this quarter was record breaking. I
Do
think
you,
it's dope.
do you think we're going to get an update on subscriber numbers anytime soon for Game Pass? We
It
haven't
would
an
be
update in a
nice
while, which
to.
would be
Yeah, we
nice. I
definitely
mean,
haven't.
as lovely as this news was, hearing that they've set a new record based on revenue and per subscriber and monthly active users, it would be nice just to get an update to see what's happening with the needle in
Definitely.
that space. Especially following quarter two, following Call of Duty Black Ops 6 releases, following Indiana Jones releasing, even Stalker 2 this month that's coming
Mhm.
out. It is a second party exclusive at this point, but it'll be nice to see whether this is trending upwards around subscriber counts. Yeah, I assume it is. Um, yeah. Soul.
I'm knee deep into some business over here. Knee deep into some business.
Knee deep.
Yeah, knee deep. Talk to me.
No, it was more around any of your take around the Q1 record setting for total revenue and average revenue per subscriber and like monthly active users. Well, this is with Game Pass, so this is coming from Satya Nadella, talking about obviously the positive impact of what they're seeing with Game Pass numbers. Not the subscriber numbers yet, but with Game Pass numbers and how it's performing overall.
Oh Lord, Voldemort. Um, that's every time I. That's what I think of when I see him. I mean, we're not gonna speak his name half the time. We know he's changing the game, but it might be a good thing. Anyway, um, for him, he is looking at it and he is like this. I was looking at here. I also saw that.
Excellent.
Yeah, he looking like what's my name on The Simpsons? Yeah,
Monty Burns.
Mr. Burns.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so I'm over here, like I see this little thing of Darth Vader, and all I hear is like the Emperor, the Empire, the Walk song, you know. And
Mm.
so Satya is he couldn't be more ecstatic because that just means more opportunities to make Project Latitude work. And so it's it's a good thing, you know. Game Pass is working, it's bringing in that money, and
COD is working.
Hmm.
COD is working. I'm pretty sure, you know, now Indiana Jones won't hit like COD will, because COD is a
No.
different kind of beast. Um, I do think they will probably, even though they don't need to, but I think they will go ahead and spend that money for the GTA um, marketing. I can only imagine what that's going to look like. And so I think they're going to make that happen. And when that brings in more money, it's game
You
over.
know it's gonna be like fucking Hunger Games over at PlayStation, Xbox over who gets
It's
the
gonna,
marketing rights
yeah.
for GTA
But
5
the
Oh
or
yeah.
thing
GTA
is,
6.
though, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, there's only so many. Okay. There's only so many inches you can put on the table, and Microsoft got them all. So the
So
thing
that makes
is,
it worse if Microsoft fucking fumbles and don't get the marketing.
Well,
so that's the
I
thing.
guess for me,
So Take Two, if they don't want that and they still want to go with the whole user base thing,
Hmm.
then well, Microsoft is just
well, I
at a
think they
loss when
might
it
be
comes to
smart
that.
to go with the user base thing because we're not the PC isn't releasing day one when the console
No, they're
versions are
not.
releasing.
They're not. So they may say we're
I
gonna go
hope
here
so,
simply
Lyric.
because.
I hope they don't sell exclusive rights and they can market it every fucking where.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it should be
Yeah.
split. For every
Hey,
commercial
like
you
the
see
best.
on Xbox, it should
Yeah.
be one for PlayStation.
None of
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, play it day one or play it first.
You
On
you
fucking
know what
yeah.
I've been wondering here for a while, and I know it's a little off topic, but kind of not. I've been wondering, have you noticed that anytime you watch a game show, watch a look at a commercial or any kind of marketing for any game, unless it is exclusive to one of the two, anytime someone talks about these consoles, PlayStation is always first. The
Yeah.
print, it's always first. If you're watching someone who is really not biased in a sense, but they
Mhm.
always still say get it on PlayStation and Xbox, but they were talking about Xbox, but then they still say get it on both PlayStation and Xbox as opposed to Xbox and PlayStation. I
Mm.
know that is nitpicky. I just noticed it, and I'm wondering if that is something that Sony has kind of been like, hey, when you talk about these games, put us first. Here's just a
Mm.
couple extra little. I'm just saying it could
I think
be
it's a bit of bias coming through though, right? Like I
maybe
know in
I don't
my
know.
job, because I work in a very specific thing, when I write something, I'll be putting my thing first and then the other thing second. Even though we're both getting the exact same thing.
I don't know.
I
I
also
just
go with
it's
alphabetical wise, like whereas my one is earlier in the alphabet than the other one. I can't say it, or just no
got
one
you.
needs to know about it. But like, um, yeah. So maybe it's just a bit of that familiarity piece there. But I agree. You see it all the time. I'm super disappointed that Croc Remastered is not getting a physical edition for Xbox. So I'm probably going to buy a version on Switch just so I can get the physical edition. And then I'm going to buy a digital version for Xbox because I want the achievements. Anyone
Mm.
here played Croc?
Nope. I have not.
Play what?
Croc. Like about a
Mm,
No,
crocodile?
mm-mm.
What?
no.
What? It's like
Now
my
I feel
childhood
uncomfortable.
playing on PC. It had like old tank controls. It's
Mm,
remastered. Like the music's so nostalgic. I fucking sucked at it. It's a platformer, but I feel like with the bit like no longer, I don't have to use tank controls. I will
mhm.
definitely enjoy it more. It was a great game.
Yeah,
And
I'll
I'm
look into
excited
it for
for the
sure.
remaster. But yeah, does anyone else have anything they want to add? Obviously, I've got the hungry, like, feed the panda up, so we're about to close out the show.
No, I think this was
Um,
a great episode, guys.
yeah, I'm feeling a little too
Hey,
mellow.
no, I'm good. I hear popcorn being popped, and I'm over here like I want to run. I'll be like, pop me some too.
Yeah, Panda been snacking. I'm hungry. I'm like, yo, I'm about to bust these Doritos down as soon as this ends.
Fair
I
enough.
ate like right before, but I'm like starving right now. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Good
Th-
combos tend to do that.
Yo, this has been good. Hey, this was a great weekend to come back. The energy was good. The chat was good. I appreciate
Yes,
all
sir.
the comments, and yeah, this was good today. This was a great
Yes,
one to be
sir.
back on.
Good to have
So,
you back, brother.
Good to
oh
have you
man,
back.
hey, thank you.
Yes.
I love the energy.
Also, Soul,
Thank
I gotta
you.
send you my new number, bro. I got a new phone.
Yo, yeah. Make sure you do that.
Got
Make
you.
sure you do that. Yeah, please do.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that now
Yeah,
before I
I
forget.
just want to
yeah, yeah.
say a big thank you to everyone watching on Twitter and also watching on YouTube, watching us live, and for everyone who's going to be watching this after the fact. Thank you,
Mhm.
everybody. We are getting into the process of getting into the habit of like putting timestamps on, so we're going to start doing that. So because I know the show's long, and it just means it's easier for people who are watching, and there's a
Yeah,
specific topic you want to focus in on. We will start sorting out timestamps on the YouTube video to make it easier. But thank you to everyone who supports us every week. Big shout out to you all.
love
And
you
for those
all.
who play, yes, for those who on the community game nights Discord, and who we get to play with online and such when we do get to play online, or when I get to play online. But yeah, this has been a great episode. Remind everyone, Soul, where they can find you, and then we're gonna head out
You
after
can
that.
find me in your dreams. You can find me in your dreams. No, you can find me at I Got Soul via Twitter, and I'm there. Talk a little bit, chat it up. Find me. Let's talk some games. Let's go. Let's get with it.
And Nero, where can everyone avoid you?
Okay, so you definitely want to avoid me on X, also known as
On
Twitter, what I call
PlayStation
it.
as well.
Yeah, hey, PlayStation and Gamertag is different. That's JXY Marley. For anybody that I don't know what the fuck you gonna play with me over there. That's my single player box and my content creation box. Because Xbox refuses to get with modern times and update their DVR capture system. So here we go. But NextGenNero on all platforms. My Gamertag guys is finally up to date. NextGenNero, Instagram, NextGenNero, just everywhere. That's it. NextGenNero, baby.
Perfect.
Becca,
And
thank you.
you can find me here as per usual every week. Well, when I am able to. We I can't even sentence. I'm just like brain dead right now.
You funny, Lyric.
You can find me on Twitter at Red Dead Panda 1, and you can find me on Xbox at Red Dead Panda. Yeah. We will be back next week.
And before I
So
go, guys,
can
I
you
just
hear
want
me?
y'all to know, Lyric is the reason I bought a PS5. Like, dude, this dude sat in a party for weeks. Like, man, Nero, I get it. You're a content creator, man. You got to expand your horizon. Helldivers 2 is one of the best games to drop this year. How is you missing this? I said, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I mean, I waited 3 years. They got a few games I'm interested in, and I decided to go ahead and cop it. But for anybody mad at me getting a PlayStation, blame Lyric. He literally talked me into this shit over the course of the year, basically. It all started with Stellar Blade, and then it went to
Oh,
Wukong, and then the Silent Hill. He said, man, you know Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorites of all times. Nero, you can't miss that. You never played it. I said, you're right. I'll check it out. So shout out to Lyric, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all please like, please subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the
hey,
next
do
one.
we? Hey, do we know real quick? Do we know when Stellar Blade and Wukong are coming over? Because I know they
Nope.
are, but when
I
are
think
they coming over?
Wukong
I'm not.
coming soon. Because I think people said it was starting to get rated on Xbox. I may be wrong about this, but
I don't know
Okay.
about Stellar
Okay.
Blade.
yeah, I don't know
I have
about Stellar
no
Blade.
Man,
clue
they
about
did
Stellar
a
Blade.
complete. Wow, not a complete. Money hat like nope, don't even go
Yeah.
over there.
It's
Wow,
probably
wow,
like a
wow,
year exclusivity deal or something like that.
wow.
Who knows?
Well, I just wanted
As-
to look at Wukong, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I thought it was
yeah.
a good looking game. Didn't really look like my style of game. A boss rush, no, not at all. But I tell you what, Wu Chang or Wu Shang, Fallen Feathers, that's what I'm looking forward to right there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We're gonna see how
looks
that one
good.
goes.
Looks good.
No doubt.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Bye everyone. See you next week.
Alrighty.
Behave yourselves and get some good
Holla.
gaming in. Bye.
No doubt.